I need to get my chat up, so give me a second. It's lucky that we didn't say anything untoward.
Well, indeed.
You know,
I ate some paint.
I was going to start slagging Glyn off, but thought better of it. I thought better of it, Glyn. I thought better of it, lad. Okay, so sort my chat screen out so I can see what you're all calling me. So I'll do. This is the first time that I've done this. I am. Well, you know what, Damien? This is your rodeo. I'll let you introduce.
Indeed. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Battle Streams in Middle Earth. The first in a series of at least one videos that me and Steve are doing.
Yeah.
We've got loads of people in the chat. We'll say hi in a bit, but just to give you some idea of what's going on. We did this. How long ago was it? About 6 months ago or something. The Prancing Phonies.
Yeah, I was just about to say I've just got on it. I've been inundated with emails saying when's Prancing Phonies coming back.
Yeah, haven't we all? Me and Steve did. There was an idea to do a live stream, and me and Steve did. We did a test, which became a 2-hour thing, and then a real episode. And I think my internet packed up once, and your computer decided to explode once.
Yeah, we hit the 2-hour mark, and my computer goes, "No, I've had enough now. Let's go to bed."
But SPG Towers has new internet. I've got 10 pints of new internet at SPG Towers, so hopefully that isn't going to happen anymore.
No.
But so that allowed us the possibility of doing another kind of live show going forwards. And there's two things that inspired this. One, some of you may have seen my last hobby vlog, Steve. I presume you have 52. Yes. Great hobby vlog. Yep. Great hobby vlog. And in that, I made my hobby pledge for the year, which is that I want to have a lower percentage of unpainted models by the end of the year. So not necessarily a lower number because you might buy some more and all that, but a lower percentage of unpainted. And part of the deal with that was going through my collection and figuring out what I'd get rid of, like flogging old models that I was never going to paint. So I did all that, and I ended up with a bunch of Moria Goblins. I was like, I think I've got 30 Moria Goblins painted. I ended up with 20 more, and I was like, well, I'll just get rid of these. I'll flog them or something, and because I'm never going to paint them. And then, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, young Lachlan over on ZorpaZorp started his streaming series about Battle Games in Middle Earth, the part work. And he's doing a live stream every fortnight where he goes through. It's kind of crazy. He's going through like one episode every week, painting the models and then playing the scenario with them. And suddenly I thought, hang on. What if I just painted the goblins instead of selling them? I was like, mind blown, you know. And
so all the effort that you put in, you get to keep them.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I thought, Moria
Selfish,
Goblins.
but it's a good idea.
Yeah. How much would you get for Moria Goblins now? I tried to sell 9 Moria Goblins. What do you get for that?
20p.
20.
Only if they're well painted though.
Yeah, absolutely painted Moria Goblins. And so I thought instead, because my Moria Goblins were painted so long ago that they're actually kind of rubbish.
Yep.
If I just want to match that standard, it won't take very long. And so this kind of idea came that maybe what we could do is on the weeks that Lachie isn't doing his stream, we could do a kind of inspired by stream while we try and paint something from the backlog, ideally something that's been in one of those issues. Well, that's the kind of plan.
Your goblins that you're going to match up to are now on screen.
Oh my goodness.
It's like we've done this before.
This is the technology here. Just you can literally see the comments that people are thinking of typing but aren't typing just yet how amazing they are.
Still trying to lift a jaw up off the floor after seeing.
Yeah, there they are. They're there. So these Moria Goblins were painted 2010, I think. They were some of the first models when I got back in to playing the game. And they're a bit ropey now. I think I sent Steve 2 pics, like one on the front and one on the back and stuff. But they've got their basically base coat wash highlight in the same base coat colour, essentially. So and
when by magic, Damien, I can only get that up, can't I?
And when I pick them up and look at them now, like quite closely, they're really quite ropey. But I've done an awful lot of like scenarios over the years with them, and from a distance they look all right. So I figure like trying to match that standard shouldn't be too hard. So that's the kind of plan, and it's going to be really tough trying to almost paint badly.
Yeah.
You know, like trying to kind of like go back and absolutely like not do the extra highlights and all that. And I think it'd be quite fun. So we have to pick from this week. We have issue 1 and issue 2. I don't know if you've caught his second stream yet. It was the other day.
Yes, well, I didn't watch it all because it was on for like 4 hours and it started
4
at
hours,
midnight.
yeah.
So
I painted along to it. It was great.
did you sit through the whole stream?
Yeah. I
Crazy
painted
person.
like 2 in the morning.
Crazy
it was great.
person.
And yeah, so you could essentially for the choice for this episode is either Plastic Moria Goblins or Plastic Warriors of the Last Alliance, essentially. Yeah. So the kind of idea, the hope is that we'll clear our backlogs a bit, and maybe anyone who's enjoying the show will also get a chance to clear their backlog and kind of dig out some of these kind of unloved models and just do a quick paint job on them, and hopefully we'll get some progress done.
I like it.
That's kind of the mission, really.
Yeah. It's fun.
Why are you here?
I just like the camera. I like it. No, I thought I'd come and keep you company. And I'm just about to change the camera because I don't have any pictures of what I've done. I'm not as far ahead with the painting as you, but I have.
Yeah, I suppose I should explain the kind of cheap picture that you're probably now seeing on screen. That even if I was doing my rubbish paint job, the rate I paint, I'm never ever going to get them done. So I've base coated and shaded them already, which is what you can see. So the picture you can see at the moment is how my goblins look at the moment, and I'm basically just going to do a highlight on every level of them and hopefully get some stands stuck down. That's my hope by the end of this stream. I'll get that done. I don't know if I will.
Yeah, mine are just base coated. They'll be coming up on screen in a minute. Just base coated black. So...
Oh, look at this live camera.
Don't mess about, mate.
Oh yeah, Damian, show me some pictures. Yeah, that will look really good. Well, I've got a video.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to go out and buy equipment to send me another live feed, I'll happily put you there.
It's looking good. Steve wanted to paint some Dunland for this, and I guilt tripped him into painting some Moria Goblins he doesn't want.
But like what people will see now is I might have some cheeky Dunland on my desk.
Oh, sneaky paint as well.
Yeah, so I might start going through those.
This is like some sort of David Blaine magic trick, isn't it? Where he's going to show you the goblins, and then he's going to paint for a couple of hours, and then at the end the goblin's going to look suspiciously black. But yeah, that's the kind of plan behind it. I can't. Well, I say I can't. I don't really. I don't know how you feel. I don't really want to commit to every 2 weeks for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. I'm free. Obviously, I'm here. I'm free tonight. We don't know where we're going to be at. We're doing a lot of stuff in the house at the minute, so I'm halfway through refurbishing the bathroom.
Very nice. Do you know a decent builder to do that for you?
No, I've struggled to get hold of one. So yeah, hopefully I'll have that done this week, and then it's the kitchen. So
my hope is that I could do one of these every 4 to 6 weeks. That's what I'm thinking on a Sunday night. Every sort of 2 issues or 3 issues, we could do one. That's my hope. Yeah. Hopefully, if Steve fancies it, he'll be in.
Yeah. If I'm about, I'll definitely be up for it. I think.
If not, it might just be little old me, and I'll depend on you guys.
I might have to give you a crash course in setting up a live stream from your end.
I'll just do it once. I'll just do it as a normal YouTube stream.
Off a potato camera.
Yeah, it'll look a little less fancy, but yeah. So there we go. That's the goal. So if you are in, let us know if it's been even mildly inspirational. Is anyone painting? That's the hope.
Yeah, that'd be great. And people, if they are painting along, this is the other cool thing. If they post their pictures or PM me the pictures of their progress, I can also get other people's up.
What, via Facebook?
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Don't mess about.
Let's do that.
Yeah. But yeah, shall we see who's in the chat while you get your paints mixed?
Yeah, can I just pick up on Irex, most handsome of Rexes? I was just seeing his little comment there saying that he thinks that I'm going to be painting one goblin every 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know if that's just satire, but I did mean one stream every 4 to 6 weeks rather than one goblin. But cheeky Rex, do you want to run through people?
Yeah,
and see who's in. I'm off, frankly. I'm doing
first post up was by someone called Damian O'Byrne.
He's a handsome devil.
Yeah. Sapphire Gale's in.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Ratchford. Not heard from Ryan Ratchford in a long time.
He must be super excited about rebirth of the channel.
Yeah. Faux Hammer, aka Tim. He's in.
Is that Tim Garlic?
Yeah, done his hobby vlog on TTG, which was cool.
Done his homework.
Do you know what? I like seeing all them hobby vlogs. I see everyone's workspace. I don't feel as bad because everyone's is as messy as mine, which is cool.
Yeah, I've like dusted off the surfaces a bit in here that you can see.
I moved. You can still see boxes here, but I moved a lot of boxes that were behind me. Just boxes of junk. We've got Glyn in. How you doing, Glyn? Frederick Schultz is in. Shadow and Flame. I'm assuming it's Dave because he's talking about the NFL semi-finals.
Yeah,
So
if it would be moaning about Middlesbrough.
Yeah, true. So how you doing, brother? Alpa Ozgan is in. How you doing, Alpa? Brushballer, Mr. Gazballer's in.
He's a TTG import.
Oh, he is, yeah. And he's a commission painter these days.
Oh, he's done well on your little channel.
Yeah. Generation Shifts in. How you doing, Matt?
This is I live and breathe.
Great to have you. Dan Huckvale's in. How you doing, Dan?
Dan Huckvale's I live and breathe.
Callum D's in. Reese Taylor's in. Another one of TTG lads. How you doing, Reese?
This is pretty good.
Yeah. Nolsey Cody's in. Irex is in. Paintbrush Pirate. How you doing, pal?
He's one of my favourite pirates.
Yeah, the best of pirates. Tom Jennings is in.
Tom Jennings.
I've got a bone to pick with you, Tom Jennings.
Don't fight with the audience.
I tell you what, we stream on the GBHL and he comes running, cap in hand. TTG streams never to be seen. Don't know where he is.
That legacy, mate.
Worm Dragon's in. And that is it of the people who are saying hi. So if you're in the chat and I've not mentioned you, just say hi. Let us know you're watching.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
People are watching.
All the coolest of people in the chat.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to start whacking some paint on these, I think, then.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't know where we start, but it's obviously Battle Games in Middle Earth. That's what we were kind of focusing on. Did you collect it?
Yes. Battle Games in Middle Earth is what got me to here, this moment in time.
To here, this magazine.
Got me to this moment in time.
Thank you, magazine.
I've told the story on many an occasion. My lad seen the adverts on TV, wanted it. We loved the films. It was around the time of Two Towers.
Yes, February 2003. February 2003, it's launched.
Yeah, he was very young. He's 22 now. He lost interest after a couple of years, and I carried on the One Ring forums and stuff like that. Met you guys. The rest is history. It's a long old tale.
So how many of them did you collect? Did you get the whole set? Or?
Yeah, the whole set. Yeah, but I can't find my first folder. Yeah.
Don't care about it.
Yeah, I had to get Ben to send me pictures of the pages.
Mm.
So I do have them to hand.
Did you follow the painting guides and learn how to paint through that? Did you?
Yes, to start with. It was one of them. It was you get it and you do what it says, but when you're impatient like me, you start buying loads of stuff like the Fellowship from Games Workshop, and then you start watching YouTube on how to do different techniques and things. And
didn't start watching YouTube in 2003, mate.
Was it not around?
No.
Was it not? I don't know.
2005, I think.
Oh no! Do you know what? I'll tell you where I got most of my painting tutorials from. The One Ring.
The newspaper.
The One Ring.
The One Ring. Absolutely. That's still going, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not quite as active as it used to be, but it's still going.
Facebook killed it, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a great place. It's still great.
Yeah,
it's still great.
So yeah, well, that's cool. And I didn't collect it, you see, because I was I got Fellowship when it came out. No, I wasn't playing. I was super excited about Fellowship because it came out when I was about 18, 17, something like that.
Yeah.
I bought the box set, so the year before the magazine came out. And then and I got the Fellowship and I played a bunch of games. Never painted any of the models. I played a bunch of games I'd painted Warhammer models for years, obviously, in Games Workshops and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I went to uni and I stopped playing the hobby. So I didn't get involved in any way with it in terms of the magazine and kind of missed it entirely. And then it had obviously finished when I got back into it. And so I picked them all up off eBay years ago in a big bundle deal.
Yeah.
And the kind of marvellous thing about it is I've dipped into them here and there over the years, but I've never read them all. There's no way I've read them all cover to cover.
Yeah.
So this week, or last week, I've read the first two issues cover to cover. It's also, this is a way for me to read that entire collection.
It's cool. They're cool magazines. I mean, a lot of the stuff's like not relevant anymore, but they're still very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to play with in there, definitely.
The later editions are great. Like I think that's what got me into building terrain.
Yeah.
Just seeing some of the things that you can do with bits of cardboard and modelling flock and things like that just really inspired me. So,
but what I really like is that if I was curious to see if anyone like yourself had done this and followed the journey through. So please, by all means, let us know in the chat if you did do it.
Yeah.
But it's like a journey that at the start, the first model you paint is rubbish. And then by the end of it, they've assumed you've been getting better at painting for 2 years.
Yeah, and Golden Demon winner.
Yeah, absolutely. The models and the scenery right at the end are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And it, speaks to the longevity of the project, where a lot of these part work things just vanish, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't last. So do let us know in the chat. We'll kind of dip in and out as we go on. But what are your experiences? Did you start Battle Games in Middle Earth? Did you play it? Did you collect it did you start the game without it? And what's your experiences? We'd love to hear from you. I also got all the models. When I got back into it, I did a big, before the magazines, I got all the models. Every model that ever came in Battle Games Middle Earth, I got them for 40 quid.
For 40 quid? That's
I got a huge, and this is when the game was less popular, so there was, I guess, less demand. But off eBay, I got this massive box, and it was every single red blister and every single sprue. It was 40 quid. That's what really started me back off on my collection.
Yeah, you can't grumble at 40 quid, no chance.
You can't. Be a little more than that now, I imagine. But yeah, it's a good little start.
I'm just doing the flesh on my first gobbo. I found, it's funny enough you say about finding boxes of things. I found Narlock Green.
Narlock Green.
Old Citadel Foundation paint.
Oh, right.
And it's great as a base colour for Goblins. It's lovely green. I've been using it on the cloaks and bits of thing for my Dunlendings.
Oh, very nice. I went with, obviously dug the models out of the case and then just basically looked at my paints trying to work out what colour they were, because I've got no idea. I made no record of it, and I've gone with Castellan green.
Nice.
Is the green I've gone for.
Oh, it's a dark green.
Yeah, it's kind of like a muddy camo type green.
Yeah, it's a nice...
it was the one I was just holding up my Goblins to various paint pots.
Yeah.
That's the one that looked the most. What did help me out, though, I found, bizarrely you mentioned in the One Ring, that I went through my old work in progress post on the One Ring, and I found my paint scheme for my plastic Uruk-hai warriors, which is pretty much the same as my Goblins. So I found like past Damian had left me a clue, which is awesome.
That's like a plot from the next Terminator movie.
Terminator, Middle Earth. Yeah. If you imagine it, the guy comes back. You have to paint. You have to save your paint recipes, or your son will come back and murder you in the future.
You have to access the One Ring via dial-up.
Yeah, I would watch it.
Yeah.
But for anyone who's interested, who wants to see what I'm doing, as I finish a colour, that's all my shafts done. So I sprayed my models black. It wasn't this, obviously, but I want to see this live. I've got a pop over here. So I used the Bad and Back spray to, there we go, cheeky focus. And then I dry brushed them. Can you believe it? I feel so sick at myself for doing this, but this is what I used to do. So I used Castellan bronze, because it was the old tin bits was the profile. And this comes out of the Two Towers Journey book. I think that's where I got the paint recipe for doing armour. So dry brush from Castellan browns, then dry brush from Ironbreaker, which was chainmail at the time. The whole model does all them. Then all the spear shafts and everything were painted Rhinox hide. All the cloth on them was done, what is that, corn red?
What was the name of the old Rhinox hide?
Scorched brown.
Scorched brown.
Don't test me. The skin was painted Castellan green. The hair was painted Storm Vermin fur. And then the little quiver bits were painted Talon Stand, which used to be desert yellow, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
So I did that. Did those bits, and then I covered the entire model in Null Oil. It was Badder Black at the time. And then I'm just going to paint those colours back over them. And that's it. No more highlights. I'm painting the eyes as well. I've just done the eyes already, actually. But that's it, and that's all I'm going to do. And that's what I used to do, and I think it looks kind of good. So as soon as I finish the colour, I'm going to jump into the chat and see where we can catch people up.
A question for you.
Oh yeah, talk to me.
When you're planning so let's just say as an example now you're going to paint up a Moria army. You get all the models prepped and everything, undercoated.
Yeah.
Do you just sort of do it on the fly? Do you pre-plan your paint pots? Do you have them all out on the side, the exact colours that you're going to use?
What colour schemes?
Yeah.
I don't do a test model. I haven't done a test model normally. I normally jump into a few of them.
Yeah.
But then I do like to have some sense of structure to it, having the right paint pots on the table ready to, and it also gives you a sense of progress. I don't know, really, I'm not very good at that sort of stuff, if I'm honest.
I've only just started doing that, being a bit more structured because I'm painting a lot of models at a time. I used to just like sit down at my paint desk and just grab what was ever closest.
I just also realised, how many goblins are you painting?
5.
Oh, I was going to say, like, you did 20 goblins. I've got a paint handle for every goblin.
I've got 15 paint handles.
15?
GW ones. So I've got some other...
That's a lot of paint handles. I've got 3.
I paint a lot of models.
Does me well. Let's jump into chat. I've got to pick up on that. Irex says, is Damian even more handsome in 2020 vision? Nope. I think it's possible.
I've had to minimise him.
Callum, your kind of rubbish is about my usual. That's very kind. It's neat. It's just perhaps not going into the detail I normally do. Glyn says your Isengard force is looking top notch.
Thanking you kindly.
Indeed, I agree. Reese is painting Easterlings. That's cool.
His Easterlings are beautiful.
There's some Easterlings in Battle Games at Middle Earth at some point. So you're about a year and a half early, Reese.
Yeah.
Paintbrush Pirate. Do we know Paintbrush Pirate?
I've got... yes, but I can't pinpoint him to who it actually is. So let us know, Paintbrush Pirate. I'm
sorry, you know who it is, but you can't say who it is.
I've heard Paintbrush Pirate before. I've spoken to Paintbrush Pirate before, I'm sure of it.
Right, okay. He is assembling palisades and writing his Isengard list, ready for a friendly meet-up tomorrow. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Ryan Ratchford says he can't stay long. He's got my last university exam on Tuesday.
Oh, good luck.
Good luck. Oh, my God, his last university exam. Ryan's only about 12.
Yeah, then it's the real world, my friend.
That is crazy. Good luck, Ryan. It's good to see you.
No money and bills.
Yeah.
Not to put you off.
Tom is painting an eagle. Ah, that's an eagle I sold him. Amazing. Good luck with that. That's Radagast on eagle, I think. Tim's finishing off some armoured goblins, but the ones from The Hobbit will allow it. That's a link. Generation Shift is busy doing some casting. Shameless plug there. Good luck with that. The Leodis team is against Team Element for a bit of fresh SBG. Could you swap sides? Oh, he's talking to Gaz. He's chatting to Gaz.
Yeah, that's happening next Saturday.
What, your first session?
Us guys who are all based at Element Games. We're having like a bit of a friendly.
Oh, I'm aware. I watched the channel.
Team match up with Leodis in Yorkshire. Hopefully it'll spread and other clubs will get involved. It'll be a lot of fun. Just for funsies, really fun lists. Except for Leodis, they're bringing Phil standard.
Yeah, obviously. Just be better.
Yeah.
Just play better. PvP Gauntlet is painting some Swan Knights. That's cool.
Nice.
Generation Shift blushes. Did we say something nice about him? This is the part where you start catching up on things we've talked about, which is quite nice. Tom says in the last TTG stream you insulted him by implying he lives near Yorkshire. Never again.
It is near Yorkshire.
And is that David Murphy? Is that Dave?
Which one?
It's in Irish, isn't it? Dathy O Murcher. I imagine it's David Murphy.
Is it Dave Murphy?
I don't know.
That's
I'm sorry.
Dave.
He says this type of video is rarer than a wild snow leopard. Well, yeah, I suppose on this channel, but maybe not in the future.
I was quite happy when you suggested doing another. I need a kick up the backside because the thing is, if I get time to film, obviously I'm always going to put TTG.
Ouch.
Because I've always got stuff to do. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah,
whereas this way I can get away with it, and it's not my idea. I've been roped into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I forced you.
Yeah.
Nalsy's asked a fairly big question. Let's come back to that because that's a good topic for us to chat about once we've caught up with the chat.
Sounds topical.
Just remind me, it's about like new releases and stuff.
Okay.
Alpa says, I will try to paint the stuff I don't really want. I can't otherwise. I think that's kind of what I'm doing. Like, I've got no need for these goblins whatsoever.
I don't. I've got like 48 goblins painted. You just said I have to paint goblins.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to buy 5 painted goblins at the end of the stream.
Them's the rules, man. I'm literally, once I finish these, they're going in a case and I'm probably never ever using them. But then what I've got is 9 painted models instead of 9 unpainted models.
That's true that.
And I feel really good about that. So that's the kind of plan. Like, paint stuff you don't want, but just paint it quickly.
Yeah.
Ryan Ratchford says he this must have been when I was talking about me going to uni. He says he hasn't been able to do as much hobbying as he'd like to since uni. Yeah, me neither. I totally dropped out of it at uni. Didn't get anything done, sadly. But all things come around in the end. Iraq says he was working in a Games Workshop store, saw the announcement at Games Day in the summer, and was so hyped. Placed my first game the week before release, learning to demo it, and never been out of the Middle Earth hobby since. And he's quite a big deal in the Middle Earth hobby. And
the hobby landscape is a lot better for that, my friend.
Yeah, indeed. But I remember that so clearly going into the Games Workshop stores when it was out, and like just being like, this is so cool. And they would let you basically would pick their intro games were like you'd pick 3 members of the Fellowship. They wouldn't let you do the kind of whole Fellowship necessarily, and so it was like Legolas, Aragorn, and Frodo, whatever, and then they'd put you against a bunch of goblins or some of the metal Uruk scouts on these beautiful boards they had.
Yeah.
It blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. I'm sure we'll chat about that a bit more later.
Yeah.
So David Murphy, I presume, he said Battle Games and Middle Earth introduced into SBG. Zarfangle started without it. Frederick Schulz started without it. He started about 2009. Ryan Ratchford started with the Mines of Moria set.
We forget that, don't we? We forget that there's, especially of late, there's a lot more people coming into the hobby who have not got a clue what Battle Games and Middle Earth is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as soon as now that it's alive and well again, it's quite likely that you wouldn't have any idea what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's long gone. But it's nice that you can still pick them up on like eBay fairly cheap and kind of catch up. And I don't know quite why, but Lachie started his stream, and now Andrew Cox is doing some sort of scenery tutorial, so it's getting a bit of love at the moment, which is cool. Frederick Schulz, after a break, we both got back into it. I finished school and was bored, which led me to STF, the GBHL, and so on. Paint My Pirate says he spammed the GBHL regularly, and we played at Darksphere, Army of the Dead versus Isengard. Was that Contest of Champions? Am I thinking of that right? Where I had to outkill? Yeah, it is. I'm sure that I had to outkill his Lurtz, and he's saying Vraska was a hero because he shot like one shot on my King of the Dead and took all his fate. It was absolutely despicable. And then that game is written up as part of that Warhammer community series I did. The Paths of the Dead thing.
Yeah.
It was a tournament I went to, Darksphere in Waterloo, and I wrote up that game as a little bat rep.
Nice.
It was Contest of Champions, and it was all going well for me, and then he killed my leader, which made it significantly harder for my leader to kill more models than his leader.
Bit rude.
Yeah, that's good to see. I hadn't made the connection there. Frederick Schulz is packing his bags because his brother will be going. Him and his brother are taking their younger cousins to their first tournament next weekend.
Nice.
And at that point, Ryan is replying something to I've just said to his comment, which means we've caught up. He's going to be 21 next March. 21, Ryan Ratchford. I remember sitting with you in that, I think it was in Destination Stockport. I feel like it was a Chinese buffet or something, sitting at a table with you, and you were a young, fresh-faced lad. Hope you're doing well, sir. It's good to see you. So, that was nice. Good as people are in, Steve. People are watching.
Cooking.
Super exciting.
Cooking gas.
So the big question from Nalsy was, what do you think about the re-released models and the match play guide that's been announced?
Match play guide looks awesome. I got a sneak peek of it at the open day on the 4th.
Oh, really?
So I had a flick through the pages, and I'm not going to give anything away. But there is.
Oh, thank God we've got an informant.
Some cool stuff. There's just another 6 normal scenarios. There's some double scenarios.
So we're going to have 18 single scenarios.
They really like mix things up. Really like deployment that we've not seen as of yet.
What, like do it blindfolded? Or?
Yep. You've got to do it from 3 tables away and just throw your models on the table.
I would love that. That would be highly enjoyable. Okay, is that all? Is that all you're revealing?
That's as much as I'm giving. Yeah.
Yeah, they say double.
It's as much as I can remember, to be fair.
And I think they tested the double scenarios at Nova, right?
Correct.
I think they played them. But yeah, that double scenario sound cool. There's one that we used to play at Seven Stones that I think Jamie wrote. That where your armies start in different corners, and I was always for doubles tournaments. I was always a fan of anything that kind of really made it was clearly aimed at doubles. You know, where you kind of separate the two armies and you have to join up in the middle. So hopefully there might be something like that. I'll be curious to see kind of what they do for that. They're super cool. And I think there's also a guide for running campaigns. I think the Warcom.
Yeah, it's kind of. I was talking to Jay on the open day, and saying it's great because it kind of gives you a bit of a framework to build a tournament off. Because someone like me, I'm not really into the finer details of tournaments and all the, tiebreakers and all that. I put tournaments on and go to tournaments just for the social side of it. So having all that done for you.
It's good to know as a TO. I couldn't even tell you how my tournaments are on.
No, but having that, it's basically all done for you, which is great. And then obviously there's a conversation to be had as to whether everyone in the league has to adhere to them or not.
Yeah, I think it's a guide, isn't it? It's like kind of here's some tips, use them how you will. I presume all the like Warhammer World events are going to be using them, but I'm sure they're not going to be somehow like enforcing it across the board.
I'll be using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like different people take different bits from it. It's cool to have new scenarios though. The last ones they added, whenever they were, was it the General's Accessory Pack? I can't remember. Whenever they added things like Fog of War and the new Storm the Camp and all that, that was great. Fog of War was brilliant.
Yeah, and they tidied up all the original ones as well, didn't they?
So yeah, is that going on pre-order this week? Is that what that
pre-order this week? Yeah, and then general release the week after.
Super cool. So that's the kind of new thing, I suppose, new. But there's also some models coming out.
Aye.
Re-releases, which I was very pleasantly surprised by at least one of them.
Can I guess which one it is?
Go ahead.
Gimli and Legolas?
Yeah, well, the 3 hunters mounted, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting it looks like one pack, which is called the Mounted 3 Hunters.
Yeah.
And is Strider mounted, which is an awesome model, which has long been out of production. And the Gimli and Legolas on horse. Which is another awesome model. Yeah. And I thought, I can't remember if I've said this somewhere, but I thought that model could be in a kind of made to order.
Yeah.
Because it's quite, it's scenario specific and all that sort of stuff. So that's really awesome to see that coming back. So I've got both of them actually, but it's awesome to see them coming back to the main range. So that's one. What else do we get?
We got the Serpent Riders.
Yeah, cool.
Which are really nice models. It's an army that I've got but not painted, and I've had it for a long time. And every time thinking of going to any other events for the last 3 years, I've threatened to get them painted up and use them, but just never have. So.
Fun fact: they were before the Hobbit release came out. They were going to be my next army. So like 2012, before all the Hobbit stuff came out, I was going to do a Harad army.
Yeah.
And never ever got around to it. Didn't come close.
I've played against them a few times. I played against them. Baz used to use them, didn't he, Barry? Sandori Barry.
Oh, Barry O'Neill.
Barry O'Neill.
Dog Order.
He used to use them. What's happened to Barry? I miss Barry.
I don't know. We chatted a while back, about saying if he was up for doing some more terrain and stuff, and he was just saying that real life was kind of getting in the way. Sadly, I might have to drop him a message.
Yeah,
he's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, he was great. He was one of them people that you meet at an event and literally within 2 minutes you feel like you've known him for ages.
Yeah, and then every now and again he'd build you a 4x4 modular dog order.
Get his mum to bring it over.
I love people like that. So Serpent Riders. We also got the Harad Riders. What are they called? Candish Horsemen.
Candish, yeah. I like those as well.
Yeah,
I like them all.
Not hugely fussed about them one way or the other. Not a particular army that interests me, but I'm sure if you're into your canned, you'll be pleased to know that you can now. You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. Do it. Oh, I enjoy that.
Old but gold.
Yeah, that's why they come to us. And the last one with the Wozes, right? box of Woses.
Woses, yeah, there was a bit of thingy about the Woses, wasn't there? Because
Oh, was there? What's the thingy?
yeah, it's a box of. Is it a box of 12 or a box of 10?
I think it's 12, isn't it? I thought it was.
But Garn can take 15, and he has to take a full warband or something when you use him.
That's just the Legion, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
But there was a bit of hoo-ha. There's always a bit of hoo-ha.
Oh, God. People weren't angry on the internet, were they?
So angry.
Just can't believe it.
I could hear the keyboards tapping from here.
I'm pretty sure he's only doesn't he become Valor in that Legion in the new book?
I couldn't tell you. I just know I briefly read it.
It's just annoying for me because if only I could, see the book. But unfortunately, but there's lots of friendly nerds in the chat. Someone tell us what's the deal with Garn at the moment? He's Fortitude, right? Normally, does he go up to Valor in the Legion? Does he have to take a full warband? I think he does. I think you're right. He does have to take the warband.
Yeah.
I
wasn't aware he had to. I just thought it was that rule where it says, Woses can only be led by Garn.
I think it's part of the, like almost the tax. Like you can't just drop Garn in to get the special rules.
Yeah.
And then take all your normal matted Rohan. It's cool. It's cool Legion though.
X, yeah. I like all the Legendary Legion stuff. It's cool. The Dunland one's cool.
Yeah, they're all good. So those are the 4 releases that are coming back to the range permanently, which is awesome. I think they all make sense, except maybe the 3 Hunters one, which is just a lovely bit of fan service for people.
Yeah.
But like Mounted Aragorn is so good.
It's a great model. It's a great model for conversions as well.
Yeah.
I've chopped so many of them up.
For sure.
For range.
He's one of those models that I've got, and I know I've got him painted every now and again. I'll get him out, and I kind of go, this is like a Moria Goblin. But he's not too bad, I suppose. So there we go. That was the releases.
Will you be purchasing any of them?
No, I've got the 3 Hunters.
Get the book?
Yeah, I'll get the book.
Yeah.
Definitely get the book. I've got to get the book, I think. They all look so good on the bookshelf, don't they now? They're all the same spine and stuff.
Yeah, you're like me. You keep everything. I've got every publication that's come out.
Yeah, I always like whenever people are flogging the old like journey books and stuff, and they get like £5 from or £10 from. Like, there's good stuff in there.
Yeah,
there's good juice inside. So like, kind of keep them and refer to them in years. I also like looking back on how profiles change and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
which might be something we get onto in a bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to catch up on the chat?
Yeah, I'll just finish putting this bit of Iron Hand steel on this Goblins armour. Do you know what I like about these Goblins?
Everything.
Where the armour turns into a bit of cloth and you don't know where the end is.
Don't know where it is, absolutely. You know what though? They're still good. I know they're dated, but I really like these models. I think they stand up well, and they still look like Moria Goblins from Fellowship.
Yeah, they're cool. I like them. I'm only jesting.
I've always said this with the Forge World stuff, that I don't want them to suddenly make new... Because now I've got, whatever it is, 30 Goblins, and by the end of this I have 40, like painted. I don't really want them to make new Forge World Moria Goblins, because then I'll feel like, well, do I have to buy those now?
Yeah.
I don't have the army anymore. I quite like the fact that these models are still the models I painted, or I bought at least 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think they still stand up. They're nice.
Yeah, I still like them. I'm the opposite. I want all the new stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I want all the new stuff. I just wish... I think the new stuff, they're better off doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
and making new stuff.
We've not had many new troop types, have we, anyway?
Really? It's just the... I think the Swan Knights are the only ones that they've redone, right?
Huskarls?
Yeah, but they're not replacing existing...
Oh, right, yeah, they're replacing... No, we've not really had anything, have we?
So I'd far rather did that. Adam G is saying, evening all, sat painting Morannon Orcs and Gothmog. I'm mid painting Morannon Orcs.
Is that Mr. Adam Garnett, is it? If it is, how you doing, Adam? Good to see you, my friend.
I'm doing them, if you're following my hobby vlogs, I'm mid painting those Morannons that were, I think, base coated.
Still painting Morannons?
Yeah, always. But I'm doing them, like they're like the opposite of my Goblins now, every leg it's like 3 highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're coming along well, so you should hopefully get an update on them pretty soon. He still occasionally refers to the painting guides from Battle Games of Middle Earth if he feels a bit stuck. That's cool. They're good. They're good guides. Again, I read through them. And they were really cool. They had a thing for making your own wash in the second issue.
They did.
It was like take brown paint and just really
Put
water
water
it
in
down, and then cover it all over. And it's like it's very elementary, but then if that's the first thing you've ever painted, it probably looks great.
Have you got any progress shots you want to show?
I can take one when I finish the red, if you like.
I'll jump back in the chat while you're finishing the red.
Yeah, you're after a Zarf Angle comment. He's painting Metalluric Scouts. Oh, they're beautiful models. I flogged all them. Reese Taylor, when is Seven Stones this year? Would love to come down. It is things I should know.
That's definitely a road trip, that, Reese Taylor.
Yeah, go on. Tell them how great my tournament is.
It's fantastic. Do you know what would be great? If we cover it live with our, with our new sexy stream.
Yeah, it is the tournament is Sunday the 24th of May and Monday the 25th of May. But if you
like the week before what you normally are now, aren't you? Is it because of the leap year or something? Because it's a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's the bank holiday weekend. It's always it's not always, but it's currently the second one in May.
Yeah.
And so it's a bank holiday. So the tournament is the Sunday and the Monday, and then but if you're in for it, there's also a Saturday where we try and do this kind of open day thing, open gaming. We did loads of talks last year, so you can. I think they've gone up on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go and have a look, see the sort of things people talked about.
You can see me with the fear of God in my eyes.
Yeah, Stephen Brand did one.
I was like, nah, I'll wing it, Ben. Don't worry about it. We don't need prep. and then I stood up there in front of a big screen and went, oh.
Yeah, it's cool. It was really, really cool and something hopefully a bit different. And that also allows them, because people can be there all Saturday, it means the Friday night becomes a thing as well. So it's potentially 4 days of SPG fun, and I love it.
It's great.
Can't wait to get back into that.
It's always a great crowd that come as well.
We actually do need to get on that a bit in terms of the Facebook page. We nearly got to that the other night. Do you want a world exclusive? Do you want to know something pretty exciting?
Let's get a world exclusive.
Me and Tom filmed a video together.
What?
Yep.
What?
It's not what you want it to be. It's not the fun.
Oh, it's not Palantir.
No, but we met up the other week. We sorted some stuff out, and we got a video filmed, which will be going up at the start of February. So whilst it's not the video people want, the two of us were sitting on the sofa together. So that's progress. We're getting there slowly.
It's exciting stuff. It's exciting.
So yeah, that's what Silver Stones is. Hopefully the page will be up probably in February, I reckon, and then we'll hope to see you there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm definitely gonna. At this stage, the second bank holiday weekend of May is generally free for me. It's the beginning of May is a nightmare. I've got loads of birthdays and.
It's a birthday one for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Anna's and Cole's within a day of each other, first and second. And my nephew's on the 5th, and then my mum's is the 31st. So the fact that yours kind of the third week, that's quite cool.
Do you say Anna Nicole's?
Anna and Cole's.
Anna and Cole. I thought you knew Anna Nicole Smith, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'll take that.
So yeah, there you go.
Before she went off the rails, though.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I didn't like the later Anna Nicole Smith. She was a bit.
If you did, it's great to have you, Reece, if you can make it. Frederick Jules, suddenly realising these 40-minute videos on a daily basis is not very helpful, as I'm currently working on my bachelor's thesis. You mean the hobby vlogs? I suppose I've done they're not quite daily, are they? But I'm glad to know. Hopefully the renewed content is a good thing. So sorry to distract you. Concentrate on your thesis. It's important. You'll regret it afterwards if you don't.
Let's have a look. Who's that, Frederick? Stephen Tennyson in the gym.
There you go. And Steve's up.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever worked out to. Come on, keep going, Stephen. Come on, keep going. Get another 10 key on there, fella.
Lift. Come on, everyone. Cheer him on. Cheer him on in the chat.
Richard Clemmer says, "Oh man, I missed the start. No problem, mate. We were just waffling."
Go back, watch it. You'll love it. Good content back there.
And then Dave, is it Dave? Did we confirm that was Dave?
He hasn't confirmed it yet, that I've heard.
Says WTF to Stephen Tennyson. Irex, question: what's your favourite release since the new edition of SBG came out? As in models, what's yours, David?
Oh.
Mine's an easy one, and I've said this personally to Irex.
Since the new. Does he mean like the team or the? Do you mean the team?
What's your favourite release since the new edition of SBG came out?
Yeah, because if I'd know what yours was, since like Team Middle Earth's been formed.
What is it?
I'm not sure. I would have said it's Thranduil.
Yes.
But that's not come out since the new edition, is what I mean.
Ah, okay. Oh.
But that's see, I get you, babe.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
I've got it. I've got the next one. It's kind of a cheat though.
So since the new edition,
Hmm.
maybe Gimli from the Three Hunters,
Nice, good call.
or maybe the King of the Dead.
Another good call.
I think they're the ones that are jumping to mind, and I've painted both of them. And
Oh,
I always sort of say like your favorite module should be one you've painted, because otherwise, you if you haven't painted it, it's probably not your favorite.
yeah.
That's generally what I go with. They're the ones that come to mind for me.
Mine is Warded of the Keys, I think.
Oh, Huron,
Yeah,
he's awesome.
yeah, it's cool. But then Azog's up there for me as well.
Yeah, well, that Thorin as well. That
Yeah,
Thorin.
they're really cool. There's too many cool stuff to pick from.
Yeah, they're awesome.
What's yours, everyone in the chat?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know.
Paintbrush
It's all
Pirate
very
says.
modern, though, isn't it? We're meant to be reading retros, though.
Yeah. Paintbrush Pirate says, Damian, that's the one. Was a fun game.
It was a fun
So
game.
he's
It was awesome.
confirming, yeah.
Congratulations on the win.
And it is Dave Murphy. He's confirmed.
Hey, there we go.
Ontario Strategy Battle Game League OSBGL, longest YouTube name in the world, says, "Hey guys, Moria Goblins, eh? I really hope that Moria Khazad-dûm is the next book we see come out. Got to give those dwarves some love, and that's Don."
Don Barnett. He is in my top 5 Canadians.
Just top 5, top 3.
Yeah, well, I don't want to offend the other ones. He's one of the people that I've met over at Nova. I've met him on like 3 occasions in my life, I think, and he is an absolute diamond. He's a major part of the Ontario scene, and he does the YouTube show Our Adventures in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. If you haven't, it's on the Ontario Strategy Battle Game League YouTube channel, and it's him and Garrett, and they just sit down and kind of do a Palantir, essentially, like that kind of sit down and chat about their latest tournaments for about 2 hours, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Really, really lovely blokes.
And then, as if by magic, we've got another Canadian in, Antonio Russo. Greetings from the OHA from Canada.
Big Tony.
So we're going international. International, mate. International.
We've kind of gone for this time because it is hopefully
Daft o'clock.
Yeah, it's the same as Lachie's, and it hopefully allows a lot of people to come in.
Yeah. We have Rich Clemmer says, my dad worked at a tip and brought me back several copies of Battle Games in Middle Earth soon after release. So I remember I had a spare sprue of goblins and about 5 or 6 Legali.
That's amazing.
A shop mustn't have been able to get rid of them and just skip them.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are doing what they do now with the Mortal Realms and Conquest, where they were buying, just buying the Moria Goblin ones, like 10 copies of it to have all the Moria Goblins you'd ever need.
Well, Conquest. As I collect the Conquest magazines, I've not gone in for the Mortal Realms. I've not really got interest in AOS. Sort of the Fantasy Skirmish is covered for me with Middle Earth, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
they're good value.
Yeah, $2.99. I was like, I've got no desire to paint this whatsoever, but it's rude not to buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I think who was it? Was it Joe McCullough? Do you know Joe? Who he wrote Frostgrave?
Yeah.
He wrote a great article for us in issue 5, SPG, I think. He did a blog post about exactly that, like his kind of hobby resolution, and it's about like being in Smiths and picking it up, and like going, I have to buy this.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Why would you possibly not buy it? And he I'll give away spoilers. He doesn't buy it. He puts it down, and he sort of felt like kind of Frodo throwing the ring away. Like. It's gone. I passed the test or whatever. But yeah, it's a bit mad. Definitely the paint ones I might go in for.
Yeah. Where are we? Stephen Tennyson and Dave Murphy are arguing about why they shouldn't go to the gym. Antonio Russo, possibly a mission and deployment similar to 40k, where there is a few scenarios and then a few different deployments that can all be mixed. I think he's talking about the new
match play guide. So like the deployment might not be scenario dependent.
Yeah, I think one thing that I can say is they and I think it's really cool. Do you know, like have you ever been to an event and you've chose your army, you've put a lot of time into painting it, and you think your army's great, and then you get sucker punched by the scenarios that get drawn for each round?
Yeah, sure.
So the way they've done it now is the scenarios that are similar, so objective grabbers or ones that have got maelstrom deployment and things like that, they're in what they call a pool.
All right.
So you take one from every pool, so you never get two scenarios that are very similar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really good. I thought that was a really good idea. I don't know if they do that in 40k or not. I don't know.
So if they've got, I mean, they don't have high ground anymore. But for example, if that was still their high ground, you wouldn't play high ground and whole ground.
Yeah, exactly.
You only play one type of ground.
Yeah, one type of ground. Richard Clemmer, I assembled the Goblins and then never played with them and left them in a box for 8 years until uni. 8 years in a box.
Paint them now. Paint them
Get
now.
them out now. Get them out. Get some lead belcher out, some black wash, and we're away.
Yeah.
Irex got a bail. See you lovely folks later. Bye-bye, man. Good to have you
I wonder if that means he didn't hear the answer because of the delay.
Yeah.
Good answers, man. Good answers.
Stephen Tennyson, do you think that the match play pack will go out of stock in seconds a la profile cards?
It's a book, isn't it?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to appeal to everybody.
It's a book, though, right?
Yeah, it's a book.
Yeah, I don't think I'll sell that one.
No, I don't think it. I don't think everyone will buy it. Not everyone is a match play player, which is a good thing.
The books aren't an issue.
Yeah.
The books aren't a thing.
Dave and Stephen Tennyson. Dave's saying he's mad for listening to hobby stuff at the gym.
That's cool.
Richard Clemmer, he has to take a full warband in the Legion, and he is a hero of valor.
Yeah.
And 7 stones is on his 30th birthday.
Well, I'll have to get a cake.
A cake.
Do a cake. Really cool. Happy birthday, for 5 months' time.
Yeah. Dave's saying Durnhelm. I'm assuming that's his favourite model. That's a good show.
Oh, that's a good model.
There's so many good ones, isn't there?
Fun story about Durnhelm, right?
Fohammer's picked another one. Sorry, mate, I interrupted, but you said it and I had to get it in there. Go on.
For reasons that I needed to get Durnhelm painted up for about 2 months' time because maybe Durnhelm was coming along to a photo shoot, right? So I went digging through my box looking for Durnhelm, and me and Tom tend to, because we're cute like this, we tend to buy models together. Yep. One of us will buy 2 copies and then give it to the other one, right? Couldn't find Durnhelm. Couldn't find it anywhere. And I started thinking, have I ever owned Durnhelm? I think I would have done. And I just can't remember if I hold in the box, And so I messaged Tom and I was like, did we get Durnhelm? And he was like, well, because I then went through my order history and didn't have it. And he was like, let me check. And he was like, yeah, I got Durnhelm.
I got Durnhelm.
I got 2. I was like, have you got mine? He was like, no. Sent me a photo yesterday from his loft holding my Durnhelm. Got Durnhelm, put him in the loft. That's what he does. Yeah, I've got a Durnhelm on her way to me. You were saying you were in the middle of whoever just picked your other choice.
Yes, Fohammer, Tim, favourite model, Sid Briarthorn. Absolute pleasure to paint. Beautiful model. Love it.
That's the
big guy with the scar down his eye.
Oh, the scar one, yeah. He looks a bit like the guy at the prologue in The Hobbit.
Prancing Pony, yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Oh, cool. That's a out there shout there.
Yeah. PvP Gauntlet says, Forge World Knights of Dol Roth. Easy. They are nice.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy mode.
Glen Corbett in gold. Another good shout. Mr. Hookvale. Favourite release has to be the new Saruman. Painted up the mounted one this week and he is a beaut. He's on my painting desk.
That is good, that Saruman, isn't it?
Half done. I'll show him there.
That is a good Saruman, to be fair.
He's beautiful, yeah. I started painting him because I got a rush of blood and then I've just put him down and not picked him back up.
See, Saruman is one of those kits where it's Saruman, Grima and Saruman mounted, right? And I've got all those models painted. And it's like, I don't need to do this.
Yeah, I know.
And if anything, it's a waste of my time, but gotta get them. Right, Steve, I've sent you one of my goblins.
Okay. Do you want me to pop him up?
Yeah, whenever tell it when he pops up, and then I'll start chatting about what I've done so far, the progress I've made. I'll just finish the colour.
I will sort that right now. This is cool.
Thank you so much.
This is cool, isn't it?
This is cool. This is going all right.
Yeah, I like it. You've said it now, though. It's all going to fall to shizzle.
God knows what happens when we hit the 2 hour mark.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes to hell.
So I'll get rid of that. You've just sent me something. Is it the archer dude?
Yeah. It's the picture of the goblin I sent you.
Oh,
There's only one.
The one with the evil eyes.
Yeah. I'll try and fill some time here. Trying to work out where we've got to. Right. Sid Briarthorn, there we go. PvP Gauntlet, Knights of Dol Amroth. Glenn Corbett says Ingold.
Yeah.
That's a good shout.
Sexy model.
Dan Hutvale, favourite release has to be the new Saruman. Oh, you've said that. New Saruman. Richard Clammer, Theoden. Yeah, that's an amazing model.
Yeah.
No, Kev painted ours. It's absolutely stunning. Nolsey says the new SBG edition favourite model Saruman and the made-to-order metal goblins. Yeah, and the orcs. You know, I bought up 40.
The orcs are great,
orcs.
yeah.
Repainting them this year. Great to have them back available, even if it's on. Death's Heads 3. Hi from New Zealand.
Nice.
From New Zealand in amazing. Hi, how you doing?
It's like 5 o'clock in the morning there, right?
It's a different month, I think, in New Zealand. So far away. Adam G says the favourite model I've painted actually isn't SBG one. It's Nagash from Age of Sigmar.
Ooh.
That's an amazing model. Do you remember in the Palantir, like a long time ago, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, something like that, I was debating buying Nagash.
Oh.
It was. I had him as a kid, like the old metal one. I loved it so much. That was always my army. And when that came out, I nearly was like, yeah, I'm going to jump back in. Actually, resisted. It's an amazing model, though. Adam G says he used to live in my local GW shop, Nagash. Nagash used to live there. God. Well, you wouldn't evict him, would you?
No.
Paintbrush Pirate, I'm about 10 minutes from finishing Dernhelm, Daewine, and a Saruman. We'll post pics to DTG once base. Do it.
Yeah, do it. Once you've done it, let me know, and I'll grab them and whack them up, brother.
Again, that is alarmingly up to date. What we're after here is rancid old models that you don't want to paint. Gorgeous new ones.
Your Gobbo should be up on screen now, my friend.
Oh, is he? Oh, we have one comment left. Reese Taylor says, I really enjoyed painting the new Tariel. There it is. That's what we want.
Mine yet.
That Forge World released with Legolas and Bard. I couldn't agree more. Here she is. Let's pop over to Hangouts. Is that going to work? There's my one.
Yeah, you need an L-shaped thing.
Nah, it's going to work. All right. She was in focus a sec. There she is. So this is my version. It's a beautiful model, and I converted it. I actually used the legs of the Mirkwood Ranger that I really don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of worked, just made her a little more dynamic. Hands down, I think the best Tariel we've had.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Really, really awesome. And I've got plans. I've got 2 more of these. I've got plans for 2 more Tariels with this pose. But yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Back in the cabinet. So there we go, and with that we are up to date with the stream. So yeah, the Goblin.
Yeah.
Where it was at the start. What have I done? I started with the eyes, which are a dot of corn red and then a dot of Talon sand to just give them a bit of a glowing yellow thing. I've also gone around all the straps. You can't really see too many of them, but he's got a brown strap going over his chest. That was with Rhinox hide. I've done the same on the quiver. And I've done the red. I've done all the robes have been given a highlight of corn red. So all those areas I've just mentioned are finished. No more highlights for you. But that's it's done, and then you get to move on with violent speed, which is super cool. So there's my little Goblin as he stands now. How are you getting on?
I'm doing all right. I'm on the red cloth, so I'm going to get the red cloth done very quickly now on these, and then I'm just on to the browns, and then I'll be giving them the first wash. I'm looking at these now. There's a slim chance that I might get these all done in the time of the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are a painting, I don't know, fast thing. A painting mega horse.
I've done well in the last week. I've done well. Got through quite a lot.
Done well.
Done. Yeah, done well.
Are you back in the chat, or are you? I've
got one more to do the red on, and then I'll jump back in the chat if that's
cool.
Okay, my friend.
Cool. There's just a couple more that I'll fill up, and then we'll jump into a topic. Sons of Gondor. Really enjoy painting Sauron for my son. Yeah, I'm hoping to do him next year. Adam G says I'd buy Nagash. Damien, don't tempt me. Generation Chef, love painting Garth. I'm painting Garth right now. You know, not right now. I'm taking a break from Moria Goblin.
He's really good in game as well.
What, Matt Davis?
No, he's terrible, Matt.
He's all right, you know. Well, he's a hustler. Oh, hi everyone. I'm a really nice guy. Yeah, I'm a hobbyist. Bam, killed you, smashed you all. Richard Cameron will attest to that. They played in the final game. That's cool. Great game. Watched that on the stream. Really enjoyed that watching that one, guys. And War Game 341. I wonder further down the road that Games Workshop Forge World would remake War of the Ring to incorporate Hobbit armies.
I think there was
a question at one of the Q&As that kind of said, that'd be cool. We'd like to do it. We've got no plans to do it, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. We're not ruling it out, but don't look for it anytime soon.
We're not ruling it out. We're not ruling it in.
Indeed.
What will be will be. Let it be, as the Beatles said.
They did say that. That's one of the things they said. So there we go.
Yeah.
So I was also wondering, have you read? This is your test. Did you read through the magazines ahead of this?
I want to say yes, but I'm not a liar.
Didn't do my homework. But it was quite cool, kind of reading through what they are, and there are bits that would be really, I don't know, really basic and obvious now, like about your tools and all that, and the rules and stuff. But there's some really fun profile stuff in there as well from the early editions, because they do start to give you an idea about profiles very early on.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've dropped my brush.
Don't drop your brush.
I made notes.
Nosy Cody has to go. He's got to be up early for work. Enjoy work, my friend. I'm up at 5:30 as well, so I'm a crazy man for being up now. Reese Taylor, any tips for making a display board for Easterlings?
Made notes. I think I've lost them.
Eastern stuff, Reese.
I had a precious post-it of some of the more interesting things that I stumbled across. And I think I've probably done that classic thing of putting the post-it in a safe space.
Oh, I do that all the time.
It's the worst thing you can possibly do.
I'm going to put that there so I remember where it is. That's what I always say to myself, and then don't worry.
It's gone. But one of the things, obviously, is that High Elves were Fight 6.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. So all the Elven warriors were Fight 6, if you can imagine that in the first edition of the game, which is pretty good. And they survived, I think, until the Big Blue Rulebook. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like that was just Battle Games in Middle Earth or just Fellowship of the Ring edition. Until for at least three editions of the game, they were Fight 6, which is kind of cool. Doom all your heroes, just your basic high elf warrior beating, in Boromir and Gimli and all that. So they were pretty similar. Lurtz was only strength 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, that Uruk High Captain profile hadn't got that beefy, and I think that again was about the same time. It was around the Big Blue Rulebook. A bunch of things got a bonus.
Yeah.
It's like Legolas. Legolas only got his auto hit in 2005 in the Big Blue Book. For the first few editions of the game, he could just shoot 3 shots.
And now he's never looked back.
Yeah. He wouldn't have to look back. He'd know what was
there.
Yeah. What was that? What was the other one? Something else that made me go, that's weird.
Is it not in your notes?
Yeah, I just don't know what my notes are. There was one other really funny one. I say really funny, it's like really funny the way Mrs. Brown's Boys is funny.
Yeah, it's not funny then.
Not funny, but it makes you go, huh, when you say it.
Yeah. Mrs. Brown, just when I first seen Mrs. Brown, I found it funny, but then I realised pretty much every episode has the same jokes in it, and it's just like.
And that joke isn't funny.
Yeah.
The Sauron was remarkably similar. I was quite surprised by that, given that he's such a big dominating model that you'd think maybe he'd evolved a fair bit over the years, but his profile's really quite similar in that very first version.
Maybe that's the benchmark that other profiles are.
Sauron. Let's start with something sensible to benchmark from.
What's worse than Fight 9?
Yeah, he wasn't in the Fellowship book. I think I don't know quite why. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe he was a last minute kind of design or something from Weta.
Yeah.
So they didn't necessarily know what he was going to look like or how he was going to perform. But he doesn't have a profile in the Fellowship version of the game.
Yeah.
And they released it in. I think they released it in White Dwarf. And then he got put into the Two Towers version.
I think the brown I'm using is a bit too light, but I'm committed now, so I'm going to stay with it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I know how much you care about these Moria Goblins. You want them to be real. So there we go. Has anyone else been through their Battle Games in Middle Earth over the last couple of days in advance of this, or looking at it and stumbled across any other interesting tidbits you might want to talk about? there's something else. There's another profile that made me think, God, that's weird. Well, that would have been different. I can't think what it was.
What other profiles are in first two? Is Elrond's in there?
Yeah, do you know what I could do? I could just use my eyes, couldn't I?
Just have a look, Damian. Just have a look, mate.
Got the magazine. But maybe in issue 2, you get a bunch of example profiles. The Berserkers were courage 8. I remember that. I don't think that was it though. Oh, that was the other one I was going to talk about. Yeah. See, that was quick, wasn't it? Just read the magazine. It's kind of what we're meant to be here for. But yeah, Berserkers were courage 8. So at the time, they couldn't fail courage tests unless they had to be a, what's it called, like ancient evil or something like that. Unless they had a kind of modifier. I've just seen David Murphy pop up saying Elrond used to be fight 9. When was that? Because he's fight 6 here.
Fight 9 Elrond.
Yeah, it might be that he got updated between editions or something. I've got the Fellowship book here as well.
Was that like in similar vein to when we got a Megalus?
Fellowship of the Ring edition. He's fight 9.
Fight 9.
Yeah, but he's not in Battle Games. So I guess because Battle Games of Middle Earth was after the Two Towers, he must have been dropped for that.
That was when Irex walked into the office and went, "Are you mad?"
Badass, huh? Should probably be more than fight 6, I reckon.
7, yeah.
Yeah, very true, David. So yeah, the other one was at the Uruk-hai. That was the other one that I kind of made me go, oh yeah, of course. Because in this, what you have, and again, this is released just after the Two Towers came out. You've got Uruk-hai, and it's just like spawned in the foul pits of Isengard. His Uruk-hai, fearsome opponent, stronger, more muscular, and taller than orcs. And it's a picture of a fight in Uruk-hai, and their defense is 5, and it's because they didn't have an Uruk-hai scout or a fight. So and that again was only in the Big Blue book. So you had all Uruk-hai with defense 5, even the scouts, and then if you gave them a shield, they were defense 6.
Yeah,
you'd have defense 6 scouts, which would have been pretty cool. And then it's the Big Blue rulebook that gives you that kind of different profile. So I think the Big Blue rulebook did quite a lot, potentially quite a lot more kind of changes to the game than the kind of 3 editions did.
Yeah.
Right, and before, although the 3 editions were obviously like building the game as they went.
Yeah, the Big Blue was kind of the this is like what we've ended up with.
Yeah.
After lots of testing.
One rulebook to rule them all.
Yeah, but then that was a lie.
Well, it lasted a long time, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's 2005, I think, and then The Hobbit's 2012.
Yeah.
Definitely the longest we've ever gone between editions.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good book. That's what I was playing when I got back into it.
Did you drop off between before the Hobbit sort of reincarnation?
No, I got back into it in 2010.
Yeah.
As something of a. Have I never told you this little story? It's kind of like a midlife crisis.
A Middle-earth crisis.
A Middle-earth crisis. But I was engaged. I wasn't. The only war game I was doing was every now and again I'd play Man of War with Adam. Some of you might know him from the channel, Man of War Adam. When we went back to my parents' house, and I did something really sensible and asked like Emma to marry me. It was very grown up. And I can't remember why I was thinking, maybe I'd like to do that again. Now I've caught one. She can't leave me. I could tell her what I'm really like. And we were in Hobbycraft, and she, in the sale basket, there was the blue rulebook, and she kind of picked it up and said, "Isn't this those models you used to paint?" Poor little lamb didn't know what she was getting herself in for. She said something like, "Would you like to do this again? Would you be interested in starting again?" And I was like, "I think I might."
She remembers that moment well.
Yeah.
Do you think then she knew in sometime in the future she'd have a lovely family home, and there'd be a place in that family home that is dedicated to them little toy soldiers from that blue book?
She bought it for me. She bought me, and that was the blue rule book. And then I just devoured that, and then started going back on eBay. And at the time in 2000, it was 2009, 2010, somewhere around then. The game was pretty dead, so the stuff was really cheap on eBay. Really, really cheap. I just bought loads. I just got loads and loads and loads. then started painting it up. That's kind of how I got back into it, really. And then, so that's like, as I said, 2010. Started going to some tournaments, and then The Hobbit dropped not long after.
Nice.
What about you?
What? How did I get into it?
Well, you said dropping off.
Yeah, I dropped off a bit between Lord of the Rings ending and Hobbit starting. I was still painting now and again, but yeah, just real life stuff, work and things like that. I just kind of, it fell by the wayside. Like I say, I used to just drop every now and again. I'd pick up a miniature and paint it.
Yeah.
But it was like once a month or something like that. I wasn't really on the Facebook groups or anything. And then the Hobbit Hobbit box set was announced, and I pre-ordered it, picked it up. I was blown away by the dwarves in that set.
Yeah, amazing.
Blown away how cool it was, because I was expecting like these Moria Goblin type sculpts.
Beautiful Moria Goblin.
Amazing. And that was it. Then I was in deep again.
Yep.
That was it. They had me.
The range from Unexpected Journey was just amazing.
Yeah.
What they put out, so good.
I'm going to jump back in the chit chat.
Yep, good stuff.
Where are we?
I think we got
Adam G. One of the things I liked in BGIME.
Oh, you've missed a few, I think, haven't you? Oh no, sorry,
when you were off looking for your list that you didn't find, I answered those.
Sorry.
One of the things I liked about Battle Games in Middle-earth was they gave Legolas an upgrade with the Bow of Galadriel.
Really?
Nice.
What was that?
I don't know.
It must be in a later issue.
Yeah. Sons of Gondor.
Spoilers.
Question. Reference Goblins. I got started playing in 2010 with the Mines of Moria, but never felt it was worth it to paint their eyes. Is it worth it, Damian?
Yes.
I think so.
They've got big bold size. They're really easy to do.
Yeah. Or what you could do, I'm going to show people on stream now, is get a pair of these bad boys that I've got. You won't be able to see them. Oh yeah, you'll be able to see them in a minute when the YouTube catches up. But these are amazing for painting eyes.
I'm really curious.
Plus, you notice that I'm wearing glasses. Look, only recently become a glasses. Yeah, I've just had them on, but I've wear normal glasses as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
All smartish people wear glasses. Or corrective lenses.
Dave says Elrond used to be Fight 9. Oh, you said that, haven't you? Elrond was Fight 9 and Gil-galad was lower, says David Alexander. How you doing, Dave?
David Alexander, as I live and breathe.
Yeah. Zarfai and Gal, not quite Battle Games in Middle-earth, but I liked that they used to use the Rohan warrior conversion from the Two Towers rulebook again in the War in Rohan.
What?
Warrior conversion. Which one was that? Because I've got the book here. Rohan. Is there a conversion in there or something?
I like they use the Rohan warrior conversion from the Two Towers rulebook again in the War in Rohan. I don't know what he means there.
No. Explain, my friend. I've got the book in front of me, and I will find, if you tell us in detail what you mean, and I'll find it.
Got War in Rohan in front of you?
Yeah.
You couldn't go looking for whether or not
I just looked through it, I couldn't see it. I breezed through it. David Alexander says also Arwen's spell was horrendous.
Oh, it was. Yeah, she had like nature's wrath of death. Was it confound or something like that? It was smash everyone to the ground and kill them instantly. It was brilliant. Cool. Confound, yeah. 6 inches, 4+. All enemies within 6 inches of her, but only one can resist it. All enemies within 6 inches are driven directly away beyond the radius of the effect. All models affected are thrown to the ground, suffer a strength of 3, and lose a will point. Oh. So you'd blast everyone like 6 inches away from you, get a strength 3 hit on everyone, and then a will point off them. And she's got 3 will.
What was that cast on?
4+. But she didn't have a free one every turn, I think.
Jeez. How many might?
Oh god, I closed it. I think she was like 3, maybe.
3 might.
Yeah, 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. 65 points.
Bring it back. Where are we?
6, 2 attacks, 2 wounds.
That's crazy.
It's pretty good.
Dave says Sauron had 10 wounds at one point, I think. He says Galadriel could spend 3 free might, will, and fate per turn or something. Jesus.
I like the or something. You could definitely either do this or not do that.
It's some BS, wasn't it? It was some BS you could do.
Check it.
Where are we? Richard Clever. So now that Rohan in War has given us new heroes for some of the smaller armies, Dunland and Fangorn, in inverted commas, what armies do you think need some new heroes? Numenor is for me. What about you, Damien?
What army needs new heroes?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Is there any army? Well, you got the obvious ones like Karn, I suppose. Karn's not got many, has it? What has it got? A chieftain and.
I don't care about them enough to want them.
Oh, it's all about you, Damien, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe like Azog's Legion might be a.
We're going to get lieutenants at some point, aren't we?
Or something. Yeah. I don't know. I think everyone's right. There's something on it because it is saying 3 per turn. Yeah. I'm just trying to find out what the rule is.
While you're looking, I'll read Jack.
Oh my God Almighty! So if it's fought within the boundaries of Lothlorien, Galadriel has no might, will, or fate, but she can use up to 3 points of each in any turn.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine that at the start of the game? Do you want to play in Lothlorien?
No. Oh, is that a tree? Is that a tree? Oh, this must be Lothlorien. Thank you very much. Is that a tree? No, it's Treebeard, mate.
It's very different. And like you didn't have the kind of points match games in that first edition, so the balance didn't matter as much.
Let's have a look. Jack says, a bit behind on the stream. Great listen so far. We'll catch up on the rest tomorrow.
Thanks,
there was
Jack.
mention of a tournament at Darksphere in Waterloo. It was the one you were talking about that you've already been to.
Yeah.
Right, Damien?
Yeah, so they've run a couple. Unless you're not talking about one in the future, but the guys, if you join the group, I think it's Darksphere Middle Earth players or something like that. But they post them up. I've been to a couple of tournaments. They're really, really good fun.
And then Rich Clement, I'm hoping Eagles, but don't know which book they would fit into. Could you make a whole book of the Black Gate? ?
Go.
Do you think we'll get more Eagle profiles? I don't know.
But there are some, aren't there? There's Land Rover, Land Rover or whatever his name is, and there's another one, isn't there? Can't remember. I think they're a bit like Quick Beam and Beach Band. I think there's 2 other named Eagles. We could do. I would like.
For anyone who's watching what I'm doing and thinks I'm a crazy person, I'm just putting some Athonian camo shade on the green flesh, whilst my Agrax is still wet.
Some sort of crazy wet blending option.
It's just because I'm a rebel.
You're absolutely renegade. I'm on the green, by the way. I'm on the Castellan green. It's definitely the longest colour for me. Not longest. I've done 3 of them so far. Is anyone PMing you any pictures of what they're working on?
Has anyone put any pictures yet? I know someone said they were going to before. It was the Paintbrush Pirate, wasn't it?
Yeah, remember you can do that. If you Facebook them to Steve, we can put them on the stream.
Yep. Paintbrush Pirate. If you have sent them, just let me know, and I'll. In fact, I'll stop being lazy in a second, and I'll just check.
It's like me in the magazine.
Yeah, I'm being lazy, aren't I?
So lazy.
As soon as that celebrity tag hit, I just got very lazy.
Is that the tag you wrote yourself?
Yeah. I'm a big name in my house.
Anna, come look at my tag. Steve.
The look of contempt I get.
Yeah, so I'm on the green and they're coming along nicely. They're getting there. I think I'm going to get them finished.
I'll fire through these last comments in the chat and I'll have a look at the Facebook.
I love it.
Jack says, spoiler alert, we'll be inquiring about running another one this year tomorrow. All right.
Oh,
he must be a regular at, what do you call it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah. Paintbrush Pirate. I used to paint Warhammer Fantasy Battle a lot whilst my brother had Lord of the Rings. I fell out of it at about 14 for a long time. When I started working full time after study, etc., I thought I'd have a go at getting back into it. When I told my partner I wanted to do models again, she misunderstood. A few months later, I got a bit drunk with a guy. Oh, hang on, it's getting a bit dark. I used to work with, and we confided in each other that we were nerds.
Yeah, I think a lot do that.
We then started playing the Am and Hen scenario. Then we went to the first Ardacon, and it's been an expensive addiction since. A great addiction, though. Great addiction.
So good.
Adam G. It was a later issue when they started doing campaigns for each film. It just gave him a Strength 4 bowl. I remember that because we got the special editions. So there was like a Two Towers edition, Return of the King edition, and they didn't have an issue number. They were just sort of standalone issues. They were cool.
The 2000 one's just like a massive Helm's Deep mega barrel.
Yeah. Adam G. That's you just said that. Carl Daly got distracted watching Desolation and Smaug and forgot this was on.
Ouch.
I know,
Unbelievable.
That's hurtful. It's never nice being second, but there we go. I'm sorry, guys.
What
are we painting? We are painting
Moria Goblins. This is our stream talking about the first 2 issues of this bad boy. Is that on? I can't. I'm on the wrong screen. Yeah. Issue 1 came with Moria Goblins, so we have dug out some Moria Goblins from our backlog. We're painting through.
Fine girl. That warrior conversion is on page 84 in Warrior Rowan. On page 28 of the Two Tower True book. The guy which repos the sword and the outstretched shield. Right, okay. What page did you say? 84?
84. Off you go. Go on. You're up.
Flipping heck. Do you know what? I just opened the book on page 84. I'm not lying.
That's why we got you on the stream.
I'm not lying. Right,
your page opening abilities.
Crazy. Oh, yeah. This guy.
Go on and hold it up.
This guy.
I want to see it. I want to see it in 45 seconds.
So what I'll do it under the... I've got a 4K camera here.
Nah, after a while you're just kind of bragging, aren't you?
This guy.
Don't know if anyone asked, but I've got a 4K camera on.
Just in case anyone's wondering. In case anyone's wondering why the picture's so crisp.
The book's going up. That is a tiny picture. I can't possibly.
It's going to go on the big one in a second.
What, in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the 4K camera? Is it?
That's the 4K camera. Yeah.
Oh, your Goblin looks so good.
That's why it looks so terrible. I should show the whip pics on the webcam, and yeah, look how great that is.
Great! Well, that was a great upside down warrior rope when you just.
It's called inversion, mate. David Alexander. Meneldo was the other eagle. Landraval was Guaihe's brother.
Yeah, Land Rover and Meneldo. Yeah.
Dave says Tom Bombadil used to be an absolute beep. Song was 12 inches, auto cast, and fully restored a friendly model with it and had infinite will. Yeah, that's good.
It's perfectly fair, perfectly reasonable.
Paper's Pirate has posted on the TTG page, so I'll just fly there quickly.
You could fly on the back of Land Rover.
Yeah. God, he's got so many windows open.
So yeah, my hope maybe if this does take off is that you guys will kind of prepare like something from Battle Games of Middle Earth, and then we'll all paint it, and then we can maybe have a little thread.
Is Paintbrush Pirate James Richardson?
Could be.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense.
Because if it's James Richardson, you've posted a ton of beautifully painted minis up.
What, during the stream?
Which was the one that you wanted that we were going to put up, James? Oh, that's nice. I'm going to pass that one up. Just made my mind up. Oh yeah, he's pretty. Right, here we go. Save.
Yeah, how great would that be if, like, every time we do one of these streams, everyone got to paint like a model that they were never ever going to paint. Yeah. Here's James Richards.
Yeah. James, which was the mini you wanted to show? I'm showing one now. If I can find where I've put it. That's always the problem.
Oh God, I've dropped them.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Desktop.
Wait for that. He has not yet confirmed which model he wanted. FYI.
I'm posting this one up anyway, and I'm even going to make it big.
I've just finished them all. Can show whatever you like. Oh, was he saying that he just finished doing like Durnhelm, Saruman, and that lot? Is that him?
Yeah.
Super cool. We're really after crap Moria Goblins, though, James.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Not awesomely painted heroes. I'm just so excited now. I'm watching. I'm going to watch in the stream while my paint dries on my brush, desperate to see Saruman or something.
Was it Saruman? I'll get Saruman up.
Oh, Dalewine, look at that. Oh, that is lovely. Oh, beautiful. Great work on the saddle. Fun fact, in my very, very soon to-do pile,
nice. It's a great model.
Yeah, really, really cool model. So he'll be coming in February. Is the plan?
Just post it. Just changing the picture there now.
I'm utterly unexcited about it. I don't like painting armored Rohan heroes. I've never liked painting the armor and stuff. But needs must. What's everyone else doing? How's your painting going? Let us know. Give us some little updates. Hopefully the idea is that you're all getting a bit of work done on this gloomy Sunday night before the new working week begins.
It's horrible today. It's very windy.
Yeah. So British. You wouldn't believe the wind outside. An absolute nightmare.
So there's James's Saruman, Snooker Saruman. Very nice.
Oh, that is my favourite Saruman pose. That, to my mind, is the best painted model I've ever painted.
What of you on your collection? You mean?
Yeah, that's the one that, for whatever reason, everything just worked out. That's the this is a true story. That's the one that it's that and Thranduil that Emma has threatened to emulsion should I ever betray her, shall we say? The spouse of a hobbyist has a kind of a threat over their life partner that most people don't have.
Yeah.
And Emma's made it very clear that should I ever upset her on the unforgivable scale, she'll just come in and emulsion my collection. Keeps me honest.
I've just whacked Gazballer's whip pickup. He's painting.
Is that Isildur?
It's Isildur.
Them at the moment.
Isildur.
So cool. This is so cool. People are doing this. Bravo. Thanks for getting on board. I've just seen that James has said he doesn't own a single Moria Goblin.
What?
What you need, sir, is a copy of this. eBay with you. Everyone's got Moria Goblins in a cupboard somewhere. Carl says, I'm hoping to get back to some painting this week. I was running my first event on Saturday, so I've had to put it off to get that ready. Plan is to finish 600-point Theodred's Guard in the next week. And Richard says, confession, I'm not painting. I'm doing a different hobby for his nephew. Reese is starting final highlights on Red Cloth for Eastling, then highlighting the gold. Show us some pics, man.
Yeah, I'm doing Red Cloth as we speak.
You want to see them and complain that they're not goblins. That's what we do here. So yeah, I remember 2001, right? So the game got announced and all that, and I can remember all the buzz around it. And I got it. I got the starter set for Christmas. Got the Fellowship of the Ring starter set on Christmas morning, and I lost my shizzle. I've been so excited, and that's the copy of the book that I've got down there. Is that copy? So I've owned that book for whatever it is. I don't know.
7 years.
18 years now, something like that. And I really clearly remember that on Christmas Day we still do actually, like we go to my mum's sister's house and my aunt, or they come to ours, and that year we were going to theirs, and they live in Milton Keynes. It was about a 45-minute car journey where I was reading that book. And then I remember having the kind of slightly moral debate of, can I bring the book in and just sit and read this all Christmas Day? And it was so, I mean, I played fantasy at the time, but it was so different, you know, the individual movement and the round bases, and so the fact that it just looked so damn cool because it was Tolkien, you know, the sculpts were so good. And yeah, I got the plastic, the box set, and I got the Fellowship of the Ring, the metal Fellowship of the Ring for Christmas.
It's a great kit. Still one of my favourite kits, the Fellowship.
Yeah, they're amazing. But those versions of those models I got again are those ones. Even the ones I haven't painted all of those models.
Yeah.
I've never painted that Legolas actually, but I've got that 18-year-old Legolas sitting in a case ready. I was actually thinking that because Legolas arrives in about issue 6 or 7, he's relatively early.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might paint that Legolas. I might paint the original Legolas because I've never done him.
Yeah.
Being a huge Legolas fan, I feel a bit naughty about that.
I am literally going to put my mic on mute for 2 minutes while I blast these minis with a hairdryer. Because I don't want to deafen you.
It's very decent of you. So that is just over to me. So yeah. Not muted. I just messaged him telling him it's not muted. I'm so sorry. I think he's heard. I think he's heard. I think. Hope. Yeah, it's not muted.
I just don't care.
What? Why say you're going to mute it and then not?
Something else is. I did mute my mic, but something else is picking it up. And if I'm honest, I can't be bothered finding where it is.
That's the spirit. It's all right. I can't imagine why anyone in the.
Is it dead loud?
It's not unloud.
Is it annoyingly loud when it's turned off?
Yeah, really annoying. Like a toddler with a kazoo.
There we go, done.
God, that was rancid.
So, highlights, guys.
They've all gone.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I had those, and I picked a couple of other kits up as well, and I picked up, the Ambush at Ammon Hen.
Yes.
I got that in Games Workshop, Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Absolute rebel.
I went to Australia that year. It was on my gap year, and the currency exchange was really good at the time or something, and it was cheaper, and so I picked it up over there and then backpacked around Australia with a set of metal minis for about 3 months, and then brought them back. And that again is that's like the Boromir, the dead Boromir that I've got. It's still that model that was a proper old import from Australia.
Proper old.
So if Lachie's in or anyone like that, anyone Australian's in, I've got some of your Australian models.
Don't tell them they were cheaper than they were.
Absolutely.
Start a riot.
Different times. Man. Different time.
So, straightforward highlights. I'm going to do. I'll flip that to that.
You showing something off?
No, I'm just while I'm painting. I'm going to whack some red on the edges. It's great, isn't it? How your models look naff, and then you put a wash on it, and they look fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's the highlight. There's always for me a pale highlight on straps. You've got like a brown strap, and you put a really pale cream on it, and it just makes it kind of explode. Really, really good.
I think I've just got a notification that something's been sent to me on Facebook, so I will do this, dude, and I'll check.
It's pretty cool. Keep them coming, guys. It's good to see the progress. That's another Goblin skin done. Quite excited about finishing off the skin, because once that's done, the colours that are left are proper easy mode stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. So next question for you, Steve. As a rumor has it, you're something of the terrain creature.
Oh.
How do you feel about the terrain tutorials in Battle Games Middle-earth issues 1 and 2?
Oh, issues 1 and 2. Well, we've got to start somewhere, haven't we? And
I do.
I think there's probably a lot of people who still have their very first corner ruin cardboard, stuck on cardboard, painted grey thing somewhere.
We didn't plan this, right?
I'm fully not one of them people. I did make it, but then promptly threw it away.
So issue 1, it doesn't actually have a scenery tutorial. We have flip back over to this. I can make sure I show. We have making a basic battlefield, which is basically about putting a cloth over some books. This bit up here talks to you about like literally sprinkling sand on it and small rocks and little bits of lichen and that sort of stuff, and freestanding trees. It's actually pretty good, to be fair. And then it sort of does the and then build that. It does say dream battlefield, but I quite like it. It's quite inspirational. And this is the board. I remember this being in White Dwarf all the time when it launched. So this is the board they made for like Lord of the Rings. So that's not too much, and it's in issue 2 that your scenery journey truly starts.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of cool, funky little article which talks you through like the stuff you need, like paintbrushes and sand and flock, and then you get this making a simple ruin. And I did send the picture to Steve for this. We'll put it up in there.
Where did you send it to? Email?
Yeah, when you're on. No, it's email. When you're asked for.
I'm gonna do something magical.
Yeah, I sent you like the close up of the ruin. So basically, you got the whole page here, and then Steve will hopefully pop the main picture up in a second. It's just like 2 bits of card.
Here we go.
It's
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Kind of stick them together. You found it?
Yeah.
Is that textured paint we put on it?
No.
That's perfect.
Just paint, mate. Just paint.
Grey paint. Stone. Get this.
Just paint. Oh dear me.
Grey paint gives the effect of stone.
Yeah.
Which it does. Now, if you've never made anything and you bought your first copy of this 2 weeks ago, that's all right.
You're over the moon.
That's not bad. Have you popped it up?
It's coming. It's coming, my friend.
I don't think that's that bad. And I noticed on Lachie stream, like obviously there's loads of people writing on the comments and loads of people in the chat, and they're all, I think, good-naturedly, but kind of like mocking that piece of CD or whatever, going it's a bit crap in it. And yeah, it is. But as the first thing you ever built, I think it's all right.
It's where I started.
So Stephen,
yes,
I have a very special treat for you.
Go on.
Back at my parents' house this weekend. I haven't got that because bear in mind I started in this hobby 10 years before.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I've got for you is the first piece of scenery I ever made.
Let's have a look.
It's a hill.
Let's do this, man.
Don't laugh. Why are you laughing?
It's great, mate. It's great. It's
rock.
It's actually
grey paint.
Fantastic.
Gives the impression of stone. Look at that.
Love it.
Look at the flock. Look at the gradual curves of the slope.
That's wear and tear, that, mate.
Freestanding cliff there as well. Little stone, and even look, there's a little bit of like lichen on there.
Nice. You've outdone yourself there, my friend.
Just in case anyone's wondering,
forget bag end. You should have brought that with you, man.
That isn't dry brushing. That's polystyrene where the grey's chipped away. Now, my question for you, and we could actually do this. I obviously have to wait a couple of minutes for them to catch up and then get the guesses in.
Yeah.
What is this made of? What is this hill made of? And obviously,
the material?
Yeah, I don't just want a material. I want to be specific. Bear in mind, it's made about 1993. If anyone fancies having a punt at that, we'll be onto it. We'll be laughing. So answer that one. So there you go. What do you reckon, Steve? You're a scenery man.
I don't know.
No, you plum. What do you reckon of my hill?
Oh yeah, it's great. Love it.
It's not bad, right?
It's first effort. Look,
10-year-old, 11-year-old. I reckon.
Oh well, it's doing a job, isn't it?
Saw me a lot. It gave me a lot of Warhammer Fantasy games.
It's doing a job, that, my friend.
Tactical as well for like firing in ranks. Rather than the stupid slopes. Very, really useful.
Rather than them stupid realistic slopes.
And then I've only got 2, but I then advanced to the corner ruin.
Oh.
And bear in mind, this is without the help of Battle Games of Middle-earth.
I tell you what, that's something special, that, my friend.
Why paint the floor green when you can paint it the same as everything else?
The whole thing the same colour.
Look at that.
It's great.
Polystyrene, 2 polystyrene walls, bits of broken polystyrene to allow you to climb up. Covered in textured paint. Textured paint was my go-to thing back in the day. Gives a good stone effect.
Love it, my friend.
Painted black, dry brushed white, just like normal rock. You can learn a thing or two from me, I tell you, mate. Stop putting all those colours in your art. And there we go. Those are my first 2 scenery pieces I ever made.
Be proud of that, man.
I'm proud.
Own that.
You don't get bag end without making them.
No, that's very true.
I actually think, that corner ruin, that's a lot of people's, if that's what got you into it, that's the first piece of scenery you ever made, right?
Yeah.
Now look at you. You're all right.
Now I have scenery coming out my other end.
On the GBHL.
My other end. It's crazy.
You are now one of the, foremost scenery makers in the community?
Oh, I don't know about that. There's
certainly
some very, very talented people.
I mean, you certainly claim to be.
Have you been reading my Instagram bio?
You put that at the forefront.
The premier terrain builder.
That's what gets them in. That's on.
No, I like building terrain. I get a lot of satisfaction.
You always put that at the forefront of your kind of events, don't you? The importance of it.
Yeah. And
obviously, you are genuinely very good at it. But you start with that corner ruin, right?
That's where I started.
And you can't start by building you've done a bag end yourself, haven't you? You've done that bag end on the hill. You can't start by making that.
No.
You've got to start somewhere. No. Everyone needs a bit of corner ruin in their life.
And the thing is, with terrain, you'll know this because you're an avid builder yourself now.
Yeah, not so much.
You never build something, and I don't anyway. I never build something and think that's the best I could do, because during that process you're learning so many more things, and the things you're doing towards the end of the project.
You always see stuff that other people won't, don't you?
Yeah.
Guys, over to you. Tell us about your terrain. Yeah. What was the first piece of terrain you ever built? Love to hear from you.
Don't worry, guys. I know a few of you have PM'd me some bits. I will get there in a second. I'm just highlighting some gobos.
Once I finish this goblin, I'm going to jump into the chat and see if anyone's correctly identified what my hill's been made out of.
You mean as in what packaging it's made of?
Yeah, kind of. It's on the one hand fairly easy and obvious, and potentially incredibly difficult.
Yes.
I don't honestly know if it's an easy or hard thing to guess, but we'll see.
Well, so it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy for me. Don't get what the problem is. But maybe there isn't a problem. Maybe everyone's guessed it. I just haven't looked at the chat. That's what makes this so tense and exciting.
Breaking the mould over this, mate.
Sounds like me.
Have I done that one? Yes. I'm actually quite enjoying this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There'll be more painted models at the end of the night, right?
Yeah, it's good. When I conceded and said, "Yeah, all right, I'll paint some goblins."
Yeah, I'm painting done. It's like me. I've been painting Moranas all week. Fancy the break. Paint some Moria Goblins. I don't want. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look. Let's see what people said. So let's catch up. Let's catch up on the chat first, and then I'll get to them. So that's all. James, Pekin, Deja's Guard. Exciting. So Adam G is basing Moran and armor. That's cool. Exciting stuff. Tom J says technical genius. I'm sure that's about your inability to mute your hairdryer. Yeah. Sons of Gondor has just finished doing the dishes. Richard Clown says it's weird that they muted it. It also muted Damian slightly. Yeah, we're actually in the same room. We just set up with each other. We hope people wouldn't notice. It's all the background's done with green screen. Sons of Gondor have got gambling footer mounted on the workbench for tonight. Get them going. Brush Ballers building a new Numenorian force will finish Isildur tomorrow.
Oh, is that what you're bringing to the Element Leodist face-off, my friend?
Couldn't say.
Is he giving it away?
Yeah. Richard Clammer says, which issue had the Little Rock Cluster scenery tutorial? Don't know which one you mean specifically.
Is that the Rocky Outcrop one?
I don't know if it means in the issue 1, there's a few rocks and a scattering of sand produces an instant scene. I don't know if it might be that it's a little more in depth than that in future issues, but there's this kind of thing here. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. comedy genius. That's probably the muting thing again, isn't it? They're being kind. Tom Jenny says Damien invented Minecraft. Oh, that's the hill, isn't it? They stole my idea. I was furious. Matt Davis is off to bed. It's been fun. Good news.
Night, my friend.
It says looks like florist foam. Oh, the green stuff. No, it's not that. Richard Crammer, the stuff you put fake plants in. That's the same stuff. Flower arranging foam, the stuff that's toxic. They're all talking about the same stuff.
The stuff you can't help but squeeze and crunch in your fingers, even though it's really bad for you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Zarfiangle is the hill made from the styrofoam inlay of GW boxes at the top. Let's come back to that. Dave Murphy says, "Hail, comrade Premier Crow." What's that about?
Probably because of my skills with editing software.
Yeah, and then they're on to first terrain pieces, so we'll come back to that. So I can confirm Zarfiangle wins the chance to buy himself Freddo. Look at that. So this, for anyone who doesn't recall, this is what your models used to come in. So if you look at that, it's roughly the same width as a box now. You know, your average kind of like box of Man and Orcs, whatever.
And this was before anyone cared about the environment, wasn't
it? Because they replaced this with plastic. You never see fish dying in polystyrene Games Workshop pots, do you? So in like the metal kits, the fantasy kits for the day would be in a box like this. You get like just all your pieces being here. So you would, whenever you bought a kit, you'd get kind of made, custom made scenery essentially. And some of them, like these ones here, you can see where it's broken along the kind of 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3, is going to be some sense that'll be like these.
Oh, that's pretty.
Be those kind of things broken off. So yeah, that was like the pack. That's probably the packaging from a box of high elf silver helms or something like that. From back in the day. So well done, Zarfiangle. You've won our first live stream competition. Hopefully,
you can only buy one though, right? You can only buy one Freddo. Come on, let's not.
Yeah, hopefully as the
not be hasty.
As the live streams go on and gain in popularity, the prizes will go from nothing to something. But we'll have to wait and see.
I've just popped up. It'll be coming up on your screens in a moment. Reese's Easterling. Beautiful.
Oh, is it finished? Do we have a finished Easterling, or is it work in progress?
See it there in a second. It looks great. Reese was the fellow who took part in the live battle report with his beautiful Mirkwood army.
Was that the teaser one or the real one?
The real one.
The real one,
where Thranduil got his backside handed to him.
Yeah, that went down to one awful fight against Azog. Is that right? Remember that? Yeah, you should have rolled better.
Yeah, roll better.
Because didn't you? He lost the fight, right?
Yes.
Has Reese been playing? How long has he been playing?
Don't know. You're not a new player, are you, Reese? But you've not been playing from like back in the day type thing.
Like for me, I don't want to sound patronising, but if that was me, I just would have won the fight.
Yeah, win the fight.
I think that's where he went wrong there.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, it's just quite efficient. If you beat Azog and then kill him, he can't kill you. That's how I would have gone about that. But yeah, after that, it was just a bit of a disaster, really, wasn't it? It sounds like it's kind of obvious, but it's the twofer. It's not just that Thranduil's dead; it's that Azog isn't dead.
Yeah.
And then he's got a kind of mad Azog, and you don't have your Thranduil.
And then I'm changing over, which will be changing in a second, to Tim Garlick's Mercenary.
That Easterling is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah,
nice. Sorry, I hadn't acknowledged that. Is that non-metallic metal?
Oh, I don't know.
It looks really, really nice.
I don't know.
Good work. That was Reese, right? The Easterling?
Yeah, Reese.
Really good stuff.
That's Reese. Dan Hookvale sending whip picks.
Lovely.
Oh, let's get Dan's up. Very talented painter, Mr. Hookvale is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Isengard army at Thrown Skills. Nominated for Best Army, no less.
So we can see Tim's Goblin Mercenary. I hated painting my Goblin Mercenaries, but I did paint 2 Warbands in one bit, though.
Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, I've got a box of them, but I haven't done them yet. Maybe that's how you really cheat at this stream. Paint Goblin Mercenaries. I'd have to really work at those, though. I'd have to paint those the way I paint my Gundabad Orcs rather than the way I'm painting these crappy little Moria Goblins. To make them look really good. Something about the cost for me as well. You know, like Moria Goblins cost absolutely nothing, so I don't mind painting them badly.
Yeah.
Whereas those things, are they 40 quid for the warband or something?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all right. It's perfectly reasonable, but I want to...
it's because you have to buy 12 in one hit. It seems like a lot, but I think it's pretty good value.
Yeah.
And I'll get Dan's Saruman up, so that'll pop up in a second. And whilst people are admiring that, I am going to get highlights on my Browns.
Is that a Saruman he's been working on tonight?
I'm assuming so.
Let us know, Dan. Which one is it? Oh, is it a new one?
The new one.
Oh, that's awesome. So presumably painting that up to lead that Isengard army had at Throne of Skulls.
He likes his Isengard, doesn't he?
Yeah, isn't his Isengard army in the rulebook?
It certainly is.
I believe a few years ago. Oh, there it is. Oh, that is good, Dan. God, that looks gorgeous.
It's very nice, isn't it?
The horse is amazing. Got a dark horse. He's a dark horse, isn't he? That Dan, that one.
Like that.
Nice. Yeah, you're welcome. I actually messaged him earlier and said, please paint your horse really dark so I can do a dark horse gag. It's a good lad. But yeah, if you open your, it's the main rulebook, isn't it? Yeah. Open your Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game rulebook and flip to the back to the example armies, you'll see Mr. Huckvale's Isengard and all its beauty there. But yeah, his Throne of Skulls army had the was all like the Assault of Helm's Deep before the Legion came out. So no Saruman there, but I think he must have been gutted, like because you know on the day he was using it, you could read the rules about how to make it better. He couldn't do.
I think I played Dan's old original incarnation of his Isengard army.
Really?
At an event. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but I'm sure I played you, and we had Maelstrom, and I was very, very lucky, I think, with the deployment. I got to bring everything on together, and I think he had to separate a lot of his stuff.
Classic cheaty crow.
Yeah, standard cheating.
He also played a game on the stream at Throne of Skulls, which you can go and catch up on. Really, really cool game with an explosive twist.
Ka-ching.
Can't say too much about it. But yeah, go and check that out. I also think, I might be wrong about this, but I think I played Dan in his first ever tournament. At Dreamlike, Slayer Gaming.
It's a cool guy to play against.
Yeah, lovely bloke. Handsome as well.
Yeah.
Makes the whole gaming experience very enjoyable. But I think if it wasn't his first one, I feel like it was a very early tournament. A really good game. I think I had my Isengard stuff, and he had like a Mordor list. Like, I seem to remember having like Blackguard and
yeah, Blackguard. Yeah, I remember that.
Does that ring a bell, Dan? I presume you're still in there. Well, let us know. And then we representing the Wanderers and Team Knots at Ardagon. We played at Ardagon a couple of years ago and smashed each other to a draw. Torpedoed each other. I think that's right. We had like a horrible Hobbit force and I had a horrible Isengard force. Good fun.
Good funsies all around.
I feel like that was the first game of the tournament. We basically took each other out. But to the bar. So there we go.
I will close that.
So how are you getting on with your Goblins, Steve? Where do you think you are in the process?
I'm currently highlighting Browns. It'll come up on screen in a second.
What, you're going to put your crappy little Goblin up instead of Dan's?
Yeah.
Instead of Dan's beautiful Sarah. Sorry, Dan, it's not me, mate. I'm not in control of the tech.
I need the camera on me, man.
Just give me a big photo, Steve. How do you guys? What do you think about the? Let us know. What do you think about the format at the moment? How's the? Is this working? Is there anything we should do differently? Is the time right? Do we need to make it earlier? We tried to appeal to a bunch of different people.
And the answer you're looking for to that is yeah.
What, you wanted to be earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do.
I'd go 9. I'd go 9, me.
Go 9. We could do 9.
Yeah. I've got a half 5 alarm call tomorrow.
That's stupid.
Just
I wouldn't do that.
Just pointing it out.
But yeah, let us know what's good for you. We could probably go about an hour earlier because that's still. We get a lot of people in from. We've had people in from the States and Canada, and that wouldn't be a problem for them.
Yeah.
I think it becomes like 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. instead of 2 and 5. But it was just we were just mirroring Lachie's times really, so that kind of the idea being that you'll now go, if you didn't know about it, you'll go and watch his live stream there, and then the times are always the same, but it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. So you're playing around with a goblin on the stream there. Do you want to talk us through what you're doing?
I'm trying to see what I'm doing, but my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I'm just highlighting the straps.
Highlighting the straps? I'm not painting the straps.
Yeah.
I think I showed you that finished photo. Right? My straps are metal. Don't need them, mate. So I'm not sure if this is the right idea to get you on here because all you're doing is painting them better than me.
See, now you're making me laugh on purpose, so I can't hold the paintbrush straight.
You're just like going, oh, what are you doing? Goblins, are you doing them badly? Yeah, I'll come in and I'll just agonisingly paint one goblin.
Is that coming out well? Can you see it?
It looks good though, mate.
I'm doing 5 at a time, to be fair.
Yeah, you say that, but I just think you keep moving the same goblin on and off. It does look really good though, mate.
I was a bit worried about the shade of brown that I went with, but I think it looks all right.
It was good. You've done well there. This is so refreshing, not caring how your models look.
I know.
It's genuinely quite liberated. Going, oh, that looks a bit crap. Oh well.
You know what we should do next time?
You should read the magazine.
Yeah. Apart from that, is put the post out with a few days to spare, telling people to get the exact models that we're going to paint.
Yeah. Well, I did it a bit. I kind of said try and do Moria, Goblins, and Last Alliance, but
yeah,
might take a bit of time for the series to get some momentum behind it anyway.
These guys don't listen. Don't listen to you guys. Don't listen.
But we've got a bit of choice actually coming up.
I want to paint Easterlings.
I said, oh, look at my Saruman. Isn't it great? Paint a goblin, Daniel. Paint a goblin.
Show your worth.
Yeah. But next up, we've got, let's say we do, it's in 4 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
We've got either Frodo, which is obviously Fellowship Frodo, but it could be any Frodo you could do. And then it's 10 plastic Uruks, the fighting Uruk High.
Yeah, I'd bash 10 out easy.
What, 10 Uruks?
I was waiting for that.
Well, I'm just want to clarify. Yeah, I think.
As I said it, there was a pause, and I thought, "Oh, he's thinking. Will I get away with this? Is the kids watching?"
So I also think, much in the same way I've got these Moria Goblins, I'm sure I've got some unpainted plastic Uruks, and they were painted around the same time, so they're probably just as crap. So this is great. So I'm going to go digging for some plastic Uruk High, and then paint them up, and then that's another like 10 models. So that's next too, and then after that it's Lurts. So that's probably.
Lurts would be cool. I've just painted a bloody Lurt, so.
Yeah, big Lurts debate, wasn't there, about which is the best?
Yeah, but to be fair,
shooting Lurts, obviously.
I do want to paint the one where. Which one did I paint? I've got it here. Where is it? It's hiding. Oh yeah, yeah. I painted the one drawing his bow, but I want to paint the one taking an arrow out of his thing as well. They're both cool.
Yeah,
they're both cool.
So I've done the shooting one, which is best Lurts, and I've done the shield one, which is worst.
Worst Lurts, yeah.
Yeah, worst Lurts, dreadful Lurts. And I've got the one drawing the arrow, pulling the arrow out of his quiver.
Yeah.
So if I do Lurts, I'll finally paint that up, which would be cool. Have that in the box for years, which is kind of the point of this series, I think.
Yeah.
And try and find something like that. But yeah, so it will depend whether or not this is after two issues or 3 issues. You've basically got Frodo, Plastic Uruk High, or Lurts. So you might want to start thinking ahead. What's in your painting cues and that sort of stuff. But for me, I'm really enjoying this.
What colour would you paint Goblin's eyes then?
I just did a dot of red and then a dot of yellow.
Dot of red and a dot of yellow.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
I don't know what I'd paint them if I cared, but that's what I did for that. I finished the skin. This is huge. So yeah, those are things. So what would you fancy out of that choice?
What was the choice again?
I suppose any Frodo, any Lurts, or like plastic Urks. You could have Scouts, I suppose.
I'd like to paint a Frodo because I've not painted one for years.
Frodo.
It's been a long time since I painted a Frodo.
I'm in between colours, so I'm gonna catch up on the chat. So we have James's first terrain piece was a baked bean can wrapped in plaster cloth to make a tower.
You had me.
You
had me at baked bean can.
I like the idea it was a tower as well. Not a huge tower, is it?
Do you remember one of my first tutorials on this channel, and it's still there? I think the video was turning a Pringles.
I'll just put in a sink.
A Pringles box into a wizard's tower.
I did that. I did that for more time. I picked it up today when I was digging for my old scenery at my parents' house. It was a Pringles tube with a Warhammer Fortress door at the top and a kind of spiral staircase around the edge.
It's cool.
I say a spiral staircase. That's probably being a bit too generous. It was like, loads of bits of balsa wood shoved in. That is amazing. James, please tell us you've got a picture of that. Send that to Steve. I want to see the baked bean can wrapped in plaster cloth. Richard Clammer built a 40k oils tank thing from a Pringles can. Good old Pringles can.
Old school.
And straws for the pipes. Yeah, that's very kind of late 90s GW.
Yeah, with the bendy straws.
Yeah. Old newspaper, Oasis flower foam. This hill clearly looks like the flower foam. Sarf Angle is delighted with his Frodo. Richard Clammer says, and I quote, "So they changed it to plastic. You guys are cracking me up tonight." Glad to hear it, mate. That's the hope. A bit of light-hearted nonsense while you paint. Sarf Angle, with that, I'll have to get to bed as well. I'll watch the recording tomorrow. Cool. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Reese Taylor been playing since the new edition came out. Oh, that's yeah. Well, there you go. He wouldn't have learned to win fights yet. That's a kind of pro skill. He needs new dice. Absolutely. Carl Daly says Dan's Isengard is gorgeous. He was at my event on Saturday. Dan's Isengard is gorgeous, and Dan is gorgeous. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it can be.
It's good company, is Dan Huckvale.
Yeah, well, he's the full package, isn't he? He's a triple threat. That's the thing. Gaz also needs new dice, and Carl says that Saruman was at my event. It's a very, very nice model. It is. Dan, here we go. Dan says, I think I played both of you at that event at Slayer back in the day.
Yeah, and, in Slayer, yeah.
He says you had Goblin Town with some dwellers. That sounds like your kind of filth.
Yeah.
Was that the year when you were trying to...
Great event. I come second in that event.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Yeah, well, obviously you're very talented. Yeah.
Came second in that event.
That was when you were bossing it, was it?
I was beaten by first place was Dave Nolan.
Oh, well done you.
So
Richard Cram says, I think it needs less of Damian's face and more of Steve's. I think that's probably a review of the tonight, is it? And for that, I'm going to eat some popcorn. I've been deliberately not eating because I thought it'd sound dreadful on the stream, but take that. Oh, Benji B, SBG.
Benji B's in. Now be careful. No swearing, Benji B. He's been out for a few shandies.
He says, off tomorrow, so I'm drunk on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then get this, he's got an emoji with his tongue sticking out.
Oh. As long as that's all that's sticking out, Benji B, we'll be all right.
A lady emoji and then an OK sign. I mean, that is some reckless emoji work. Tom Jennings is going to paint Invisible Frodo's base.
I've not painted mine yet.
Should paint that's Bilbo. Oh, come on. This is what you should paint.
Who's it? Frodo.
Is he even right around? He is right around.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus on this resin stuff. There he is. God, look at that. Whoa. You see posts from people about these saying, like, should I paint it? Like, for real?
Yeah.
I'm just going to put some washes over it. No. What are you doing? Should I paint an invisible perspex model? No.
Are they coming up on camera?
Depends what they are.
The goblins.
I've got a top down of a painting handle.
Can you see the goblins?
I've got 2 goblins.
Five of them.
All 5?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
What they should be on the screen?
Yeah.
You're now pushing another archer in, so I've now got 3.
Hey.
I imagine the other 2 they're going to creep in from the top, aren't they? There they are. Yeah. Look at you. Oh, so you only went for 5. 9 myself. 9.
That's not bad going. How long have we been on? How long? What time is it? It's midnight now. We've been going 2 hours. That's not too bad.
Oh, pretty good. Are they done? Are they?
Yeah. No, I've got to highlight the silvers.
On,
right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight the silvers. I'm going to jump back in the chat.
Yeah, and you get in that chat.
Start winding down a bit, I think.
I've only got
banana yuzu.
I've only got 2 colours left to do.
Where are you up to?
I'm doing highlights currently on the yellow bit of the quiver.
There is no yellow bit on the quiver, mate.
Well, I've painted it yellow, so grant you it's feasible you've not painted it yellow.
It's wrong. It's wrong, that, mate.
It's not really yellow. It's like a paler brown that 10 years ago I decided should probably be yellow. So I've just highlighted that, and then I've got the hair to do. I'm going to do grey highlights on the hair, and that's it. I am done. And how good would that be?
Good.
It'd be finished. Yeah, that's what I was going to say on the Invisible Friday thing. I've got to say, and I know maybe I'm just a sad little man with a silly sense of humour, but the whole when people put the wing bearers up,
yeah,
and people say nice bases, or there's no model there.
Yeah,
I think that's the funniest thing anyone's ever done. There's not once where it doesn't make me laugh. Like, not once where I don't see that. I go, that's funny. Well, like, whenever they put the golem up and people say nice rock, you should put a model on it. And whoever does it, it just cracks me up every single time. So did you say you were jumping into chat?
I will be in about 30 seconds.
There you go, got 30 seconds, guys. Get your fantastic comments in to Steve.
Highlighting the few little sparse highlights. All my TVs.
It sounds like we're kind of vaguely on track to finish at the same time, right?
Looks that way.
It'd be good if we finish at the same time.
Pretty cool. Hey.
That's always
It's always good to, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want. Well, Steve, you're on the GBHL. Calm down. This isn't that.
It's reckless here.
It's not that lawless wasteland like
this is Bandit Town. Bandit Town here. Terrible.
There is something genuinely quite. There's a proper conflict in me between the horror at finishing saying that these are done, and the sheer unbridled joy of saying these are done.
I've actually outdone myself because it's not easy to paint and talk.
Right.
It's not easy to paint and talk, is it?
No, it's not. I'm glad you're happy. See,
yeah.
You wouldn't feel like this if you did your Dan lending. I'm on my last colour, man.
Boom, boom.
Got to finish them now, right? We've got to stick it out.
Boom, boom.
I've just got to do some highlights on the hair for all of them. And presumably for these archers, I might as well do some highlights on the feathers. What are they feathers? What are they called? Quills?
Yeah, that'll do.
Right.
I've just noticed I've got a little bit of red in his hair by mistake.
It's fine, mate.
It's going to keep me awake tonight.
That's the great thing about this. It's fine. Red in his hair. Who cares?
Can't leave it. Can't.
So now you spent a bit of time with them, how do you feel about these models? Like,
I think they're fine. I think they're great. Yeah, no problem.
They do look like they've stepped
the reason I didn't want to paint them is because I do have a Moria army and I spent a bloody long time painting them.
Are you painting them the same way, like to the same standard? Or
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I think that I can't. I think they're in the studio, so I can't even compare. But yeah, they're all right. The ones I painted. Yeah, it's probably about the same standard. I probably painted them because I batch painted them. Similar way that I've done these, but I did them purple, not red.
right?
To match in with some Angmar orcs.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Just in case I ever wanted to mix the forces up, but these are painted old school. I've gone red. Like the magazine, like the.
Got to be done.
Thing, yeah, it looks cool. I like it.
I feel like I should do something with them. Like I should play some game with them. But these started.
How many of you painting there? How many are you gonna have?
What, from tonight?
Like all together, goblins.
So I'm doing 9 more tonight.
Yeah.
And I think I've got about 30 done. So it becomes a tasty little force. My Moria army, right?
Yeah.
The way it started, I said I got back into it playing journey scenarios.
Yeah.
So I painted them for Barlin's Tomb.
Yeah.
You have to paint 24. So I got them done. And then I basically painted a bunch of Uruk Scouts and a bunch of Wild Riders for like basically all the 2 towers and Fellowship scenarios, okay?
Yeah.
And then in 2012, a fateful event happened, which is I went to my first ever Lord of the Rings Warhammer tournament. Well, Warhammer World Tournament. Doubles tournament.
Yeah.
And it was 1,000 points. And so suddenly I didn't have anything. I didn't have armies. I just had a collection of models from the journey books. And it was the 5 source books had just come out.
Yeah.
So I basically did some quick maths and made these dreadful armies, but ones that allowed me to
bring what you had.
Bring what I had, essentially. Yeah. And so then I added a few Moria models to. So what I had painted up was something like 2 captains, 24 goblins, and a cave troll.
Yeah.
And then I added to it, I think, 2 shamans, the drum, because it was 100 points, so it would help to bolster the army up. And I think like Durbers.
Yeah.
I think I did, and Groblog. And then I think, presumably, that wasn't enough points, so I added in some more goblins, and that's presumably where I got to 30, whatever. And so that was then that, and then we took it, and that was the tournament that I met Tom at for the first time.
And your life was never the same.
Yeah, always worse. and so that's kind of how I ended up with this kind of small Moria army, essentially. And since then, I've painted a couple of bat swarms. Actually, did them for kind of Dol Guldur force, but they would. Oh, they're not in there anymore, are they?
No.
They're not in the Moria list, are they? I had them for a while as options, and then I've got I could very easily, just transform this army a little bit with stuff I've got. I've got Drizag, and I've got some Prowlers. I've only got about 8 Prowlers, but
yeah,
there's a few elites there, and I could fairly simply get those painted up now. And that's part of what this process is about. Just kind of almost inspiring you to go, what's worse, having 8 roughly painted Prowlers or 8 non-painted Prowlers? That's my kind of outlook.
Yeah.
So who knows? I haven't looked ahead. I don't know if there's another Moria sprue later in the series, but if there is,
I've got a feeling there is.
If there is, I might do my Prowlers instead.
Yeah. Because
they wouldn't look bad because they'd be accompanying the same dreadful army.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of story of my Moria, I suppose.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you basing yours?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do.
You basing them now?
I won't get it finished today. My hope was to have the sand glued down.
Oh, right.
Because the PVA takes whatever it is.
Just nearly dropped one on the floor.
A couple of hours to dry, so I was like, I won't be able to finish them. But I was hoping that they'd have the sand glued on them.
Do you want a tip?
I would love a tip.
Glue your sand on with super glue. Takes 30 seconds and you can paint it.
I wouldn't risk a brush near a super glue.
Brush? You don't use a brush, you crazy person.
No, I mean afterwards.
Oh, right. Yeah, you do not get activated. You just spray it with activator.
Oh, maybe. I've just never been in that much of a hurry.
I put a blob front and back.
Sure.
Spread it with a what do you call it? Cocktail stick.
That's what you call it.
And then just dip it in your pot of sand, and away you go. Sorted.
It's like a reckless waste of super glue.
I've got tons of super glue.
Yeah, I bet you do. You get it from the builder's merch.
Super glue master.
That's what you hold like houses together with, isn't it? Like some super glue on it. Fine.
Something's got to hold them shelves up, man.
Oh God, I've got grey on a Goblin thing. Thought you were dropping back in the chat.
I am in a second.
That's what you said like several seconds ago.
Just going to get these bases, last dry brush of light grey before a wash, and then I'll get back in the chat.
I'm sure it's your turn.
And then I'll give them a wash, and then I think I might call it. But yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it should be. That's good.
2 hours, 5 gobos.
When for you would these goblins have been painted?
Never.
You haven't done them tonight?
Never.
Never.
No.
Exactly how I felt. I think I said it at the top that they were. I took them out of the case to sell them to get rid of them. I was like, well, if I get rid of these, that'll reduce my ratio. And instead, I've reduced my ratio by painting them. That is chuffing magnificent, I think.
I am going to get in the chat.
Oh, here he goes.
Where are we? Oh. Don't know what that is. It's held for review. Where did we get up to? Oh, Benji B's just checking in. Tom Jennings, I'm painting fiddle. Ontario, OSBGL. I like the format because it's made me spend 2 hours doing hobby work, painting some terrain.
What's the terrain done?
Job done. Can
you send us some photos?
Reese is voting for Frodo.
If you can't, Don, if you don't know Steve on Facebook.
Everyone knows me, mate.
Do you know Steve? What about your celebrity tag? Are you friends with Don?
Probably.
You mean no, don't you?
I think I am actually, aren't I, Don? I think we are friends on Facebook.
Well, if you are, you're not. Like, bung him some photos or bung me some photos of your terrain, man. Love to see it.
Paintbrush Pirate, no picture of Bean Tower. But he's at my parents still. Maybe one day.
That is a nightmare. You got to keep it though. That's the thing.
That's it. Richard Clemmer. Has anyone got the Footsteps Invisible Frodo? I remember seeing that in the unofficial guide. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I have not got it, but I did make one. God knows where it is.
I haven't got it, no. I bet like Dave will have it. Dave and Kev will have it.
Yeah.
Because that's not like a kind of mega rare one, is it? That was released.
It was was it for one of the Warhammer World events or something?
Yeah, I feel like it was a special edition model.
Yeah.
So I think there's quite a few of them out there, relatively. Yeah, Don's saying he'll send a photo to one of us. Don, just pop in there who it's coming to, will you? And then I'll know whether to look out for it or if Steve's doing it. Send it to Steve.
Because you'll have to send it to me anyway.
But if you're not friends, I reckon you're not friends with Steve. Just going, yeah, I'm friends with him. Friends with him. You want to be friends with Don Barnett, let me tell you.
I won't be friends with everyone. I'm a friendly kind of guy. Wins. I think you'll find Don's just sent me a photo.
Is he really? Friends. Don, when's the next episode of Our Adventures in Middle Earth coming, man? Can't wait. So I can't wait. I will of course wait patiently because you have to wait.
Everyone's seen my sloppy, the way that I do my bases when I batch paint.
The way you what?
The way I do my bases when I batch paint.
How do you do your bases?
Very messily.
Great.
Can't give it away, mate.
Thanks for that insight.
Can't give it away.
Yeah, he just said he sent it to you.
I'll grab it now before I put the hairdryer back on.
Do the work. Don't forget to not mute it.
I'll not mute it. Standard.
The only thing worse than not muting it is saying you're going to mute it and then not muting it.
I like to toy with
Oh,
people's
I've just seen what
emotions.
you mean. I've just caught up on this. I'm seeing your messy faces.
I love a messy base. Right, okay, so do that, click that, browse that, and then I'm in.
Oh, I'm glad, Don. If that has made you do some terrain as part of this, that's the entire point. My hope is that, you know, obviously people can paint whatever they want, but I just had this kind of crazy naive hope that people specifically use it to paint something that they wouldn't have done otherwise. That's always
Hairdryer warning, guys.
I don't know if I talk over Steve's rancid noise. Is it bearable? I really don't know.
Is that any better?
I've been a bit quieter. Remember, everyone, Steve has just asked the question: is this annoying? Is this annoying?
You know, there's only one thing that would make the noise even more annoying. I think it's right next to the mic.
Jumbo Jet just took over. He's finished.
Okay.
Oh, look at Don's terrain. That is awesome,
terrain
man.
master.
That I've got that. That stuff, you know, that molded stuff. I bought loads of that off eBay years ago.
Them pillars look familiar. They're made out of plaster.
They're plaster. It's like a Hearst Arts mold or something.
Yeah.
I bought loads and loads of them, and I've got them all. They're often at 7 stones. There's a table of them full of them. I've got like squirreled away in a box somewhere. So what are they being painted up for, Don? Is that for you've just had your tournament, haven't you? Your what's it called? It's called Canadian Shire.
Canadian Shire.
Yeah, I think you've just had it. So is that painting that up for next year, or is that for something else? Looks really cool, though. I see loads of scatter terrain and some sort of ruined building. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing what you're working on. This is super cool.
Yeah. So the thing is, if we start earlier next time, we can go for longer.
Doesn't always work. Yeah, well, I mean, particularly if you're, I think I said to you before we came on that I'm loving the late night hobby at the moment. So I'll probably, even after if we finish this, I'm probably still going to stick it out for a bit, go back to working on my memorandums or something. But yeah, so we could do that. Could certainly start closer to 9 or something and get kind of 3 hours in. But I understand if you're not quite able to do the inhuman thing of working till 1 in the morning.
Yeah, no, not with that 5. Already, I'm dreading it.
But think when you're like up a scaffold, super gluing a roof tile on. Think how excited you'll be to have those goblins in your collection.
Why would I super glue it on up there? No one can see it.
Just balance it. Learning so much about you tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to pop them on there.
There's a little part of me that is genuinely giddily excited by the fact that I've done this and I've finished.
It's cool, isn't
it? I'm onto the sand.
I bought a bag of Haribos to have throughout the stream and
what to celebrate.
Just had my first.
I did a massive bag of popcorn and I've not eaten much of it because I felt a bit bad. But I'm having a victory popcorn. Sorry, everyone. Tastes like victory. I thought you were still in the chat, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Footsteps Frodo. And he says, every time your Facebook... Richard Camp says, every time your Facebook goes off, Steve, I keep thinking it's mine, even though my PC isn't on. Oh, yeah, the message, notification envy, right? A message for me? No. A message for me? No. One day, though, you got to keep hoping. One day you'll get that message. Let's use something that's going to do this really quick. I see the quality brush I'm using at this point. This is the bad boy. Check that out. Whoa.
Old school.
Goblin for scale.
Pound shop. Oh, sugar.
A bit of water on that. That's a bit too thick. So, here we go. Don says our adventures will be out as soon as Garrett can get some free time. Lots of snow here. He's very busy keeping people's homes heated. And he's into he works on
plumbing.
I thought he did like air conditioning units, which wouldn't make a lot of sense. So he obviously does plumbing of some sort. But yeah, he does heating, and they need it in Canada because it gets quite cold.
A little bit, just a little bit of cold.
Not as cold as it gets over here, of course,
Obviously.
when the when the temperature really drops over here. Oh,
when there's a nip in the air.
Yeah, when there's a nasty nip. Those Canadians don't know what I don't know how lucky they are.
Here we go.
Oh, I meant to stick some blue tack or something underneath the gaps. These are classic tab models where the tab doesn't go all the way. Now he says, "This is Hearst Arts and some terrain crate. Just trying to get an unfinished project out of my backlog." Yes, Don, that's what we want. Battle Streams on Middle Earth is about painting the hobby you don't need, you don't want, and you'd never finish.
You can't sell.
It's about painting the crap that you can't sell. That's what we're going for.
Okay, I'm going to see if this works now.
And what are you up to, Steve?
All will be revealed.
Oh, huge spoiler.
So, if I zoom out there.
It's probably worth noticing as a bit of market research that the chat has now kind of dried up, except for Don, who's in Canada, which probably means we might have pitched this a bit late.
Yeah. And it's Sunday night and everyone's got to work Monday morning. Hashtag just saying.
There's James is saying, "I've got to jump off. Good stream though, guys." Thanks, James. Good to have you, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for dropping in. We'll see you in the next one.
So,
don't forget to post what have you been painting. I think I'll put a stream up on the GBHL. Should we do it on there?
Yeah.
A stream, even a thread. I'm going to put my models up there, and then if everyone else sticks anything they've painted during the stream on it, that'd be awesome. Oh, someone's just joined us. Kim Jong wins. Evening, gents. There you go.
So
that's everyone else is going to bed.
I've just posted my gobos up. That's
quite in the middle.
2 hours.
Oh, right. Is this the 5 of them? Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll get bigger in a second. Oh, it's a slog that, mate.
It was a slog.
It was a slog that.
Stuart Mortimer has jumped in saying just finished painting Thranduil.
Motivation high at 12.
Does that mean has he been painting quietly, like focusing on painting instead of chattering to us? So get Thranduil over. Don't tell us which one it is. I'm excited. Get Thranduil over to Steve. And he'll get his crappy goblins off the screen. They look really good, man.
All right for 2 hours, aren't they?
Are those bases finished?
Finished, mate.
They're painted and done.
Yeah, done.
They look quite dark from here. It's buffering or something at the moment. Do you know what else, Steve? Do you know what else you noticed?
What?
Stream hasn't gone dead.
I know, yeah. We're over 2 hours.
Yeah, I think.
It's Tinterweb, mate. Tinterweb.
I think SPD Towers upgraded internet might have worked.
Fohammer's been rimming his goblins. It's after midnight now. We're all right, aren't we?
Is that the watch? Yeah. What if they're watching it on playback tomorrow?
What if they're watching it in New Zealand? It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It's not after the watershed. It's not after the watershed. Somewhere in the world, it's not after the watershed. Yeah. Oh look, they're all coming out. Everyone's still here. They've all just been busy being motivated. You see.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So hopefully you got a Thranduil picture coming from Stuart.
Where are you sending it to, Stuart? Facebook?
Richard Cameron says it's definitely cold in here. My toes are chilly. Yeah. It was cold today. I went to the woods today. Bloody freezing.
Have you gone down to the woods today?
Yeah.
Did you get a big surprise? Or?
Yeah, it was bloody freezing. Temperature had really dropped, you know. Oh. There's Canadians
I've
come
actually
over.
got a picture here of Mr. Jennings.
Oh, yeah. Is this the eagle?
I'll pop that up. Oh, nice.
Look forward to seeing it. VP Gauntlet says Goblins look great. Congrats, Steve.
Cheers, man.
Tom is off. I'm off work for 4 days in a row, so late night for me with lots of painting to do. Maybe some of Steve's Arnor. What's that? Are you selling some Arnor?
It's a sore subject. No, I gave him some Arnor to paint as a commission about 15 years ago. He's only just finishing them.
Brush Baller is off to bed. Enjoyed the stream. Catch you next one. Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
So let's have a look at Tom's Eagles. I like the different shades of brown, man. They look cool. What's the delay? How long does it take? Has the Eagles come up yet?
No.
About 30 seconds, I think, isn't it?
Jez Hunt dropped on about half an hour ago. He's making terrain. This is nice. I like having you two babbling away as I work. You tell my wife that. It's not annoying. It's endearing. Jez, if you've got some photos, send them over to Steve. Oh, there's the Eagles.
Yeah.
They're very cool, man. Is that all tonight? I take it. I think he's saying he was starting, was he?
Is that Zenithal and contrast paint? Tom?
I couldn't say, mate. I didn't paint it.
Or is it dry brushed white and then contrast?
I haven't played with contrast at all.
They're a good tool to have in your box. I wouldn't paint a full mini with them.
Yeah. I'm really tempted. I've got 72 Goblin Town Goblins and all the heroes. And I'm tempted at some point, at some point to just try and blitz that in one go.
Yeah. So, yeah. Right.
Love the Eagles.
Let's have a look.
Are you doing Raddy at the same time, Tom? Let us know. Hopefully we've got a Thranduil pick coming from Stuart.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for that, and then I'm going to start tying things up. I think my old friend.
I need to get you a pick, right?
Yeah.
All right, give me. I say 2 secs. It's not quite 2 secs. It's a couple of minutes.
How many secs?
2 secs.
Oh.
I'll give you 1 sec. Stuart says, massive fan of you guys, was busy painting. Oh, glad to hear it. He lives in Putney. That's not far. London and would love to create content. Well, that is a lovely offer. We might have to hit you up or something. I don't.
Yeah, it's that. I tell you, you know what I want to start doing? I want to start getting more people down to the studio.
Yeah, well, I say it's not too far. It's quite far from you.
Yeah, it's far from me. But we make a day of it. We treated you last time, didn't we?
We did. You treated me well.
A bit of a buffet on, bit of a spread.
Table towers. It's good. Yeah, they look after you if you got there. I wouldn't look after you if you go. The truth is, Stuart, it's awesome, but I really don't get a lot of time to do anything with other people. That's why this is so good, because my wife's gone to bed and they're just sitting at her computer painting. But it's good to know, man. Are you going to be at events? I don't think we've met, have we? Sorry if that's incredibly rude.
I think that's the misconception with us. I think people think we play the game a lot. I can't remember the last game I had for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I never just play it like downstairs or anything. I only play at tournaments. I love that someone wrote every now and again on the GBHL we do get a comment, and we put something like, someone just commented the other day going, "It's been months since you did any battle reports." I was like, yeah, I know. But that's not news. It's like absolutely. It's like, so I'm going to go, oh God, is it? Oh, I'll knock another one out.
Give it 10 minutes.
Yeah. You know, I get that people miss it and stuff, but we just don't have the time, and it is. You know, it's awesome now, Steve. You drop back in here for this, and hopefully this will become a regular thing. But it's pretty much just me here, and that's only since bloody December, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, these things move on; they go in cycles, and different people are doing different things, and they're energized about different things. So we'll do what we can.
It's cool. There's the thing at the moment. We're quite spoiled because at one stage it was just the GBHL that was producing content.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
now.
the other thing. So many people have now taken up the mantle and do it so much better than we ever did.
Mm.
You know, like the production qualities that you guys are doing over on TGG is absolutely through the roof. And what Lachie does, particularly in ZorpaZorp, is amazing. But there's so many other channels out there.
There's a lot of stuff. There's the Canadian guys who are in tonight.
Yeah.
Devin still pops up every now and again with a video.
There's also the other, there's Blackfire, the other Canadian one. Which,
Blackfire, yeah. It's great videos. They're doing a lot of Marvel stuff, I think, at the
minute. Yeah, led by Adam Marcel.
Yeah.
Like some of the other systems as well.
STF.
Yeah.
Andre's still pumping out his Grand Campaign.
They seem to have tailed off a little bit. I think he's obviously expecting twins now, isn't he?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's everyone's hobby, except Lachie, who's found a way to do it for his job now, which is awesome.
Yeah, jammy sod.
Yeah, it's the dream, isn't it? You know, for most of us, that if you're doing it as a hobby, that means sadly real life comes in cycles. Houses, jobs, kids, all these things kind of.
Mm.
You know, and sometimes you don't have a lot of hobby time, and the time you have, you don't want to spend doing this.
Yeah.
What's so good about this is it's both. This is like a big chunky bit of content for the channel.
Yeah.
And I've done hobby.
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as you're doing a battle report, I don't know how you feel about on TGG, but you don't really enjoy those games in the same way because there's so much work involved.
When we filmed them, we always said they were never going to be like scripted. We're going to, you know, the roles are the roles. They turn out how they turn out, which is good. But it's hard to concentrate fully in a game. So sometimes you'll make silly mistakes because you're thinking about the camera angle, the sound,
absolutely.
The next shot, the next scene. And you know, get people going, "Oh, why did you do that?" Then it's so stupid. You should have done this, and it's like, well, I was thinking about your entertainment, to be honest.
Take that.
I was trying to make sure this looked pretty for you.
Happy. You jerk. I have a theory. That's why Steve started making YouTube videos, so he could blame all his bad decisions on like production quality.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a terrible
player.
The games I win, it's because I distract my opponent with Mancunian banter.
Have you had a Thranduil?
Thranduil? No, not yet.
Maybe he's not friends with you because you're not friends with him.
Yeah, no, nothing yet. But I think it's not the end of the world. They can post it up in the. Are you gonna post the link to the video when it's finished in the GBHL?
I can do.
Because that'll be cool as well for people who have been painting along who have maybe not got to a stage where they're finished and want to show it off, because they can then post their finished pictures in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely gonna put up a picture of the finished Goblins.
Yeah.
Maybe use that to kick it off because I can put the link in that as well.
Yeah.
How long does it take to go up?
Couple of minutes.
When does it appear? Oh, it appears at the end, does it?
Yeah. As soon as I click stop stream, you leave it a couple of minutes and it will be up there. If you watch it straight back, the quality isn't 1080p.
Oh yeah, it takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes a couple of hours because it's nearly 3 hours.
So, I am done.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is snap a picture of these, send them over to you. Let's get that off there. So I haven't, as I said, I haven't painted my bases. I've just glued the sand down, so that the bases will be ready to paint tomorrow.
So basically, you've only half done them,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm really happy with how they turned out, to be fair.
I'm pleased with these. As I said, they're absolute dross. They're about like the first layer, that I'd normally do. I'd then like go back and do at least 2 more on these or something. But they'll certainly do for these. And as I said, they look pretty. I think they look pretty close to the ones I did before. How's that?
I'm just looking on my phone. I've just took a picture.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'll whack it up.
That'll do for now.
Yeah, it's been fun tonight.
Yes, it's gone well. The internet didn't explode. No one said at any point, "Oh no, it's not working. It's not working."
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me,
Is the
Steve?
sound working? No, there's an echo. You
Is it working? Steve Crow, Steve Crow, Steve Crow. Boom, it's on its way.
Got it.
Fun fact, at 9:40 today,
Yeah.
Tom messaged me about something. And I said, "You popping into the live stream tonight?" And he said, "When does it start?" Hasn't been about much. And I said, 21 minutes. And he said, "Okay, haha, didn't." What I live with.
Standard Harrison.
Let's pop in. Tom Jones says it was early 2018. I think that's your Arnold debacle. Stuart says your Goblins look great. He painted his in 2003. Tom said it's all dry brushing on the Eagles. Nice. Richard Clown said, "I second what Jez says. It's rather productive having you guys chat drivel." That's exactly what we hoped for. Jez says, "Can't zap pics, I'm afraid. I'm sadly banned for a few days because of arguing online." He's banned from Facebook. Tom says, "And some glazing. The brown one is Damian's." Oh, I'm glad to see he's having a new life. The white one is a massive seagull. PvP is Steve's Facebook linked. I have some stuff I can send that I've done in the stream. Hey, my Goblins. Let's get the last few of these comments. Kim John says, "Where are you guys based?" We're based about 4 hours away from each other. Broadly, Manchester and London. Stuart says his wife is asleep too. And Jess says, "Nice plumage." There's me Goblins. They're all distorted for me at the moment. That might just be my Wi-Fi. I look right to you?
Yeah, look, Bob on.
Oh, there we go. They've cleaned up a bit. So yeah, there we go. Oh, there they are. That's in glorious 1080p.
Not 4K.
Yeah, that'll do. That's not bad.
4K next time, yeah?
Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah. That's how I want these Goblins to be shown in glorious 4K. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you one more picture.
Yeah.
And I'll put them side by side.
Okay.
And we'll see how well I've matched them 10 years apart.
Oh, I've got my feet up now. I can't be bothered moving. Right, so crop that down.
Well,
are you doing the side by side, or do you want me to do the side by side?
No, I'll do. I'm taking them literally side by side. Oh. Same Goblin model.
Okay.
And there's double good news.
Yeah, man.
One, they look quite similar. Two, the new one's better. Which is kind of how you want it, right? There you go. Good denizens of Moria too. Cheers, Jez. I'll certainly do. Yeah, I've just sent Steve one of the ones that I painted about 10 years ago, and one of the ones that I painted tonight that's tried to match the same colour scheme. No, it's not bad. The hair's darker. I don't think I highlighted the hair maybe on the old ones. No, on the old ones. Oh. It just looks like it's solid black. I've gone a bit grayer on this one.
Yeah.
The quiver definitely looks better. Yeah, they'll do that. But yeah, from a distance, once the base is done, I'm sure they'll look close enough. Not that I'll ever put them on a table anyway.
Okay, here it comes.
Let's
see what the delay is. I'll tell you when I click.
Oh, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get my clock up and we'll record it.
What? Live. Excuse me.
Clock. Right, you tell me. You tell me when you put it up.
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Who the hell counts to 3 rather than counting down to 3?
That's how we do it up north, mate.
It's a live stopwatch and everything. They can see the stopwatch. I'll bigamize the stopwatch. Are you watching it to know when they pop up?
Yeah. No, are you?
What? No.
Oh.
I thought you were doing that bit.
No, I thought you were doing that bit.
All right, it's a few. They've not popped up yet. God, this is good content.
Keep going. Is it? Yeah, there you go. It's just changed.
Not for me, has it?
So it's a minute behind.
There it is. No, it's 32 seconds. You're drunk.
Oh yeah, because I'm watching. I'm watching.
Yeah, you're watching it 30 seconds behind, aren't you? Yeah, did you get it? See how it works?
Oh God! Who let me loose on the computer? Who let me loose?
You see the stopwatch? God, how exciting! How exciting!
Dear me. Right. Okay. So
30 seconds away.
Let's get this up.
I feel pretty pleased with that.
There you go.
So it sounds that both me and Steve have finished what we set out to do. I've painted 9 goblins that I never would have painted, and a few weeks ago I got out of the case to throw away, essentially, to sell. So that's huge progress. 9 more painted models. I'll finish the bases on them tomorrow. And that's super cool. Steve, you've done 5 goblins that you never would have.
I'm just trying to get a still up. I'm struggling to do my own. But I'll have a go. Browse. Click that. Oh. My gosh. There we go. Right, just click transition, so it'll be roughly 31 seconds.
32.
31.7. I think that I'm happy with those for 2 hours.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking about mine. Never mind. We're done with this. Yeah, go on, talk about yours. What else? Were they good, are they?
Are they up yet? I don't know.
Yours aren't up now.
It's 17 seconds away, I think.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're good, man.
All right, isn't it?
Very cool. But that's not matching an existing force you've got. That's just painting from scratch.
Yeah, it's just painting, yeah.
It's the start of a new army. Dunland goes down the drain. How many of them have you got? You said you just pulled out 5. How many?
Loads, mate. Loads. Tons and tons. So.
See, painting 5 more models for you isn't that big a deal, is it? Because you paint so much. But 9 models for me is pretty huge.
Adds to your time. I always forget, like leading up to Christmas, I was thinking I'm going to make a tally so I can see how many I do in a year. And I always forget.
Well, I'm keeping track of it this year. I'm trying to use that as motivation to keep the vlogs going as well.
Yeah. I
do this sort of month by month kind of little task where it's not just about what I've painted. It's also about making sure that have I painted or sold more than I bought.
Yeah.
Which is the important thing, and I'm well on track for January. I'm gonna smash it, which is awesome.
I'm just getting. Hello. Can you see my alerts?
Oh, shut up, Siri.
Did you just hear someone say hello?
It's my watch. I can't see your alerts now. I can see a door of Moria.
It'll be coming up in a second. It's not on the main one. It's just on the webcam. That was my drawing of bow alerts.
Oh, I see. You got it. Oh, you see, he's very cool. It's a great model, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
How much do you pay for that?
What, the model?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was in one of my boxes.
I got him. I got him now 6 years ago, 5 years ago, but I got him for 30 quid.
30 quid?
At the time, that was what he was going for, man.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
I just had him in one of my boxes. I've got fucking all sorts. Oh, excuse me. Flipping all sorts of stuff. Right, I think we should call it, mate.
I think so. So that was our kind of vague, review or discussion about certainly issues 1 and 2 of Battle Games in Middle Earth.
Lots of fun.
For issue 1 of Battle Streams in Middle Earth, Moria Goblins. We will return in a few weeks.
Yeah.
If you're up for this,
you let me know when you're free, and I'll see what my schedule is. Should we do it at 9 next time, and then
we can bring it forward a bit earlier. I've mentioned that to them, and she was like, "Yeah, that's cool. We'll be fine." Yeah. So that'll hopefully suit people better, and we'll be focusing on at least issue 3 and issue 4, which is Frodo.
What's in issue 3 and issue 4?
Issue 3 is Frodo.
Oh, Frodo, yeah.
And issue 4 is Plastic Uruk-hai.
Frodo for me. That.
Maybe we'll have a chat about more about the game next time as well, about how they're working, introducing the rules for the game and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Did a lot of hobby stuff tonight, and then maybe it depends. It depends kind of how many weeks it takes, but we might be on to the next issue as well, which would be Lurtz. Yeah. But people are saying some nice things in the comments, so maybe we'll try and do it more regularly rather than less. Yeah. But it's kind of dependent on Lachie. So Lockie's doing his stream over on ZorpaZorp every Sunday. So next Sunday is his issue 3 one. Yeah. And then in 2 weeks' time, after that, it'll be his issue 4 one. Yeah. So we might be here in 4 weeks, I guess, something like that. But make sure you're checking out those as well. Yeah, everyone's just saying really nice things. Says your goblins are nice again. Great stream. Cheers. More of this. Got a fair bit done. Looking forward to the next one. Great stream. Really enjoyed it. Cheers. That's all awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, it'd be madness. It would be absolutely pointless if there wasn't anyone there. So I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Good.
I think we'll call it there. So we'll say nighty night.
Nighty night. Thanks as ever. And what's the sign off?
See you in a fortnight. Oh no, what is it? Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Feel that. Like us on Facebook. Don't follow us on Twitter because Jamie doesn't use it anymore. Support your Hobbit host by in the links below. Yeah. Support your Hobbit hobby, Steve, and
happy strategy battle gaming.
Like.
Take care.